center, and urgent care. Ask for Take Care. Call 671-647-3526. Go to takecareasia.com for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Your island, your conversations, your station, Wave 105.1 FM, Glimpses Media.
Six in the afternoon. Welcome to the show. Once again, this is the Bright Side right here on Wave 105. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Ryan St. Here's the number, 671-922-1051 or 2. Now it's time to bring up the host of the show, Mr. Pauly Suba. Buenas.
All right. We do want to thank our sponsors, and that is Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. Micropack for sound tech and everything in between. Think Micropack. Subway, you got to refresh to be fresh. Triple J. It's big deals on big wheels at Triple J Ford. Save thousands off retail and drive home a new Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Visit Triple J Ford today. Customers first. And GTA, we start with you. All right, welcome to it and welcome back. Another Bright Side here on Wave 105. Viva Vetness!
Finally, Viva!
So many things happening tomorrow. I mean,
yeah.
Kashi Les opened up in Hagåtña this morning.
Did you go?
So there's I'll be there practically all day tomorrow.
Oh man!
From 11 to 5 p.m.
That's
I
awesome.
highly encourage you to be there.
Oh, definitely.
Around like 1. I'm not going to tell you why, but around 1:30-ish is a good time to show up.
Okay.
I can't really say much. It's kind of a surprise, but it's going to be worth it for a couple random people. Mm-hmm. And then maybe even around 4:30-ish for a couple random people. And we'll just leave it at that. But, you know, even from what I was told is that even if you can't make it down to Hagåtña, right? Because there are some people that live up north and they're like, I got to drive all the way down there for all of these sales and it's going to be super busy. Mm-hmm. The same sales that are going to be happening in Hagåtña mm-hmm. are also happening up north in Dedido, at the Dedido Kashi Les.
Okay.
So just so you know. And then also we've got the Zotnia Festival, right? Mm-hmm. Their cultural festival down in Tagacheng, and we already talked to Mayor BJ Talai. But we also have Mayor Kevin Siswico and the Hogget Mayor's Office. They are putting together the second annual Mount Carmel Fiesta and Auto Show. And I know it was pushed back. I know that they were trying to get this to happen around July. However, because again, the typhoon and whatnot, Typhoon Bobby affecting it. Typhoon Bobby came around, 4th of July weekend. And so it definitely pushed a bunch of things back. But they're doing it still. And so it is this weekend. And so I wanted to have a conversation with the mayor of Hogget, Mayor Kevin Siswico, and get some details and get people excited about this because the auto show is pretty impressive, right? And so they, based on the flyer that I'm seeing again on their Instagram, they have some categories here, and it's going to be a competition. All the categories will be an all People's Choice Award. So you have like the best in show for a number of categories, which I think also includes motorcycles. But I wanted to get the details. I didn't want to share anything that I wasn't able to confirm. But it is set for this weekend. Like I said, it was supposed to be like in July, but we were, because of Typhoon Bobby coming in, they pushed it back. Is he on?
No.
Okay.
I tried calling twice. His phone is just ringing. So, Mayor,
Yeah.
if
I
you
messaged him too, so
Yeah.
let me just let him
give
know.
us a call back,
Right.
if anything. But I'll try again.
Just tried. Yeah, he's probably getting ready, right? Because even Mayor BJ was talking about like he's going to be super busy today,
Okay.
and that's why he asked to speak with us yesterday.
Yeah.
And so again, if you didn't know, the cultural festival is happening down at Tagacheng, and it starts today.
Wow.
So 6 p.m. today, and then all day tomorrow, right? Beginning at like 9:30 a.m. is when they're doing the parade, and then all day Sunday from 10 a.m. They're doing another parade, 10 a.m. Go time's 11 a.m. And they've got like cash prizes too. For those that sign up for like the best float. I mean, when we weren't able to have the float last for the parade, right? The Liberation Day parade.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're doing their own parade up in Zotnya. And then there's this barbecue parrotfish competition too,
Oh, man.
right? That's on Sunday. And
Wow.
so on Saturday, I remember Mayor BJ again, Zotnya, is doing the cultural dance competition too. So he was saying that there are 6 Fafanagwis just in the village of Zotnya. So they'll be competing. I love a friendly competition,
I
right?
love a friendly parrotfish barbecue.
Yeah. So I mean, there's plenty to do this weekend for sure.
Lots of things to do.
From Hogat to Hagatnya to Zotnya, and probably more things throughout the island this weekend. So it is going to be very busy. Oh, not only that, see, there is also Saturday. The Togi Togi along with their partners have their 2K 5K.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where's that taking place?
At Somoro Village, and they're heading north, and it's a sunset 2K 5K in honor of Guam's Recovery Month. See, we were just talking to them as well. Again, our friends from Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, and then also the Guam Recovery Specialists, the Game Time 671, right? They're all part of it, right? They're all part of Guam's recovery family, right? And so they provide services and programs available to those that need it. And so there is a 2K and a 5K at the Tomorrow Village titled Together We Rise, Every Step Toward Recovery. And it is going to be at 4 p.m. Go time is at 5 p.m. Again, this is Saturday at Tomorrow Village. Registration fees are $15 for ages 18 and up, and even on race day. So the price isn't even going to go up on the day of, because usually that's how it is, right? Pre-register $15, and then on race day it's $20. I was told again by Rebecca. Rebecca was saying that we're not going to raise the price. It'll stay $15 on the day. And then groups of 4 is just $50. If you want more information, you can text or call 671-787-9276. Once again, that's 787-9276. Again, to support Guam's Recovery Month by joining their 2K and 5K Sunset Walk and Run. And that's in partnership with the New Beginnings, Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, Togi, West Care, and Lifehouse Recovery Center, Guam, all putting that together. And so the money that they raise will go towards so many different events throughout the month of September, which also includes a picnic, right, where they all go and enjoy each other's company. I know they do the Serenity Walk as well. They have bowling tournaments. They have softball tournaments. They have a water park day and all of that. So there's a lot going on throughout September. And so it all actually begins this Saturday with their 2K, 5K. Let's see. There's a couple releases that came out from the Attorney General, but he had his press conference. He had his press conference yesterday with the AG's team. And so we were able to get details. You can watch it in its entirety on their Facebook page, right? They went live around 4 p.m. I was able to watch it after work. And so AG Moylan is saying that his office is changing the way they attack this issue. So instead of relying on the civil process to remove abandoned vehicles, the AG's office plans to identify the owners and pursue criminal charges when the evidence supports it. And so he's saying his message is if you dump a vehicle somewhere in Guam, you could potentially face misdemeanor or even felony charges. He says abandoned cars aren't just ugly. They're an environmental problem because old vehicles can leak oil, transmission fluid, coolant, and other chemicals into the ground and potentially threaten Guam's groundwater, right? Especially up in Dededo, affecting our aquifer. And so he says, though, that he is going to provide an amnesty time frame. He's giving owners an opportunity to come forward. If you know you abandon a vehicle, he wants you to contact his office, identify yourself, and tell them where the vehicle is. He said his office will work with people who voluntarily come forward rather than immediately take their names to a grand jury. He says I watched it and I was hoping to get like a time frame, but there really isn't one. So he didn't exactly tell us how long this amnesty will last. He did say that will be announced later, but the amnesty is in effect right now. And so I'm curious, we can reach out to his office as well and see if if he's received any phone calls between yesterday and today. He also is sharing, and this is not news to me. We're aware that people are burning cars.
Yeah.
Right? And removing VIN numbers.
Yeah.
He's saying, there are other ways where we can
identify.
Yeah, we can identify who the owners are. Again, I wasn't able to attend the press conference, but again, I was hoping to better understand how because he says they have a way. They are going to be working with DRT, right? And so I hope that by working with DRT, they're able to pinpoint exactly who the owner is. Because again, just based on some of the conversations that I've had, they've received phone calls from authorities saying, we know that you've abandoned this vehicle and you'll be fined for it, only to find out that this individual had already sold the car to one person, and then that person had sold it too. So it was basically it wasn't as simple as my cousin getting a phone call saying, you're in trouble now for abandoning your vehicle. And then my cousin saying, hold on, let me call the person I sold it to. And they're the ones that are responsible. Because when you find out the person that my cousin sold it to, they also sold the car.
Yeah.
And so, why is my cousin still in the system as the owner when he can even prove that he had already sold the car by showing the transfer of ownership, right? And he has it signed, and thank goodness he's got it, because that also will be, I see, is going to be an issue where there might be some people that are called in and indicted because they lost the deed, the transfer deed, especially 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You know, some of these cars, you'll believe it or not, they're still running.
When in doubt,
Barely, right? But they're
call
still running.
DRT. That's the only thing. I mean, if you sold a car and you want to be sure, you know, so that you don't go through this hoopla, call them.
But sometimes they're in the system, they still have you as it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. You need to check if you sold you sold your car, because I mean, I would hate to find out.
Right.
I would hate to be the last to find out. And normally, when you're the last to find out, that means it's already,
yeah,
you know, you missed your amnesty
right.
time and all of that. Well, okay, and then now here comes AG saying, no, you guys had every chance to rectify this.
Because he says it. I mean, in that press conference, he says, you know, they are going to look at the last registered owner. And if your name is the one that is on it, you're going to be the one held accountable. And if you sold a vehicle, you better have that properly, you know, documented. That you need to have it transferred, you know, transfer ownership through Rev and Tax, because you're going to be held liable.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he said at this press conference.
Get your bill of sale, transfer of ownership.
If you never properly transferred ownership through Rev and Tax, you could still have a problem, and you could still be held accountable.
Yeah.
And so he says leaving Guam also won't make the criminal case disappear. If charges result in a warrant, that warrant could follow someone elsewhere in the United States. Maybe not so much in the Philippines. I mean, if you're on the FBI most wanted and they're still not, you know,
and then you're
tracking you down.
Then one of the local publications take a picture. Yeah, okay.
I don't know if you abandon a vehicle if you're going to be priority.
That's not even chump change. That's like 1 penny, 1 cent, half of a cent of the dollar, pretty much.
A.G. Moylan says that he is working with mayors, and there are mayors, like, he didn't name them all, but he's like, there's not one mayor I know of that is going to be against this.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of the number one challenges that mayors face.
Yeah.
So he plans to work with mayors and use participants in his office to help locate and document these abandoned vehicles. Participants could photograph vehicles, record identifying information, and provide that information to investigators and prosecutors as well. He's giving defendants the opportunity once again to call his office and let him know where these vehicles are before he ends up indicting you. And again, I'm not against it at all. Like, we need to solve this issue. I think we need to solve this issue together, like as government-wide. This is a government-wide issue. Just like, you know, the homelessness. And at one point, it was very promising to see the lieutenant governor, A.G. Moylan, and even the chief of police all at a press conference together talking about homeless encampments. And they all work together to remove individuals from a very dangerous area across the Micronesia Mall, extremely unsanitary, and work with them to get them the services that they needed. And it was promising. However, after that, I didn't see much effort to work with each other. And during that press conference yesterday, listening to him and his team, and then also members of the media, it didn't sound like there was going to be any more working together, at least not with this administration, right? That he's saying that this administration is obstructing him from doing his work. And, there are many times in the past where we've had these conversations or, just talked with the administration, and it's not a working relationship, not a healthy one. Somebody's on the line?
Yep. Caller in line 2.
All right. Hafa Wave 105, you're on the air.
Hey, Pauly Suba.
Hafa.
I'm waiting for Randy Kaufman to come in after you, and I'm coming in from the third dimension with my 64327, so I can talk to him. But anyway, I got to listen to Patty earlier this morning because my radio died out after Patty, and I don't know what you guys are talking about, but when she was talking to Regina Bisco-Lee,
Okay.
I think Regina held her ground pretty good. When asked about Jess Lujan and all that, about GBB,
Okay.
I think she did pretty good at defending GBB and herself. We need more people like her. She knows what she's talking about and what she's trying to do and how to get people together as a team player. And let's stop trying to make it some kind of what it's not. And I think she did pretty good. And that's what we need to do with this island, man, because it doesn't matter who goes into that office. There's a lot of fixing that needs to be done, and we all got to unite, because united we stand. And divided, we're all going to fall. We got to fix this island for everybody. Nobody gets left behind, and the general is right around the corner, man. And how do they say that? Dive your plan and plan your dive. Vote your plan and vote your, because there's some people that know how to change things in the middle of the game, and let's not make that happen. Let's make things happen for this island and make it good again, because we need a lot of good fixing to do. And
Sure.
You guys are pretty good, man. You guys are. I'm glad we got you and Ryan on the other side and breaking things down the way they're supposed to be, and showing them how to make things easier and how to do things. But hey, anyway, you guys have a nice weekend.
Too.
Be back business, and hey, thank you for putting me on the line, bro.
Absolutely.
You guys have a nice
All
weekend,
right.
man.
Take care. Yeah. It really does start with just maintaining when it comes to tourism, but it's not just affecting our visitors. I think that it creates a sense of pride too, right? I mean, abandoned vehicles, that's something that we just all have to be responsible of, do the right thing. You know what the right thing is, right? Illegal dumping is all part of that too. But then maintaining our parks and facilities and spaces, right, for all of us. I think that's something that we can, again, all unite around. I got this message, and we're going to keep it anonymous, but somebody shared, and I'll look into it. But when it comes to abandoned vehicles, all you need to do is to put out a police report that your car got stolen, so you'll be free from the vehicle.
Yeah.
You won't be held accountable. My car was stolen. I have my stolen police report, my police report that shows that it was stolen. And so is that the workaround? Is that the loophole for some people?
It just may be, actually, yeah. I mean, I could see it. I mean, what are you going to fault me for something that I had no control in? Yeah, no, I see it. I mean, there are some loopholes, and, I mean, from everything that you're telling me, because I did not watch the press conference, but maybe we should give, Attorney Jug some call.
I appreciate that, yeah.
And get more clarification.
If we can't get a hold of him today, I'll reach out to his office tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, Monday. And, get more insight on the amnesty. Did anybody call?
Yeah.
I mean, did anybody call between yesterday after his press conference and also today? And then also, some loopholes that might be out there. Because again, I'm not even trying to game any system. I am in favor of anybody that wants to do real work to clean up the island, right? But also, I also don't want innocent people being inconvenienced, and even worse, being incarcerated for something that they clearly are not, did not do. And that could end up happening if you somehow lost your transfer of cell. If you somehow did get your car stolen, however, that's not good enough.
I mean that is a good question. I mean, if we file a police report for a stolen vehicle, does that does that pretty much negate anything that the Attorney General is going to want to do to clean up the island? It could be. It is. I see a potential loophole there, but I mean, I'm almost certain. I just sitting down and thinking about it. How can I go through a loophole, right? Or create a loophole.
Well, people are always gaming the system. There are bad actors in our community that are just going to try to get away with, without taking any accountability. And that's just the sad reality, not just here in Guam, but anywhere. People are just going to try to put blame on somebody else or not take accountability and be completely selfish and not be responsible and, illegally dump their trash or abandon their vehicles or even have the attitude. That's the worst. The attitude of you don't even acknowledge that you did anything wrong. Like you don't see any problem with leaving your vehicle and just walking away from it and making it somebody else's problem. Oh, well, I paid my taxes. Well, I paid the abandoned vehicle fee. So come get it, government. That's clearly extremely irresponsible. Right? I mean, we know that vehicles don't last forever. But you take care of your things, or you take it to the dump. You at least, understanding that this is an island, understanding that we have our own challenges. And I'm even an advocate of any way that we can increase public transportation, right? Make it more stable, more consistent, more reliable, increasing more bike lanes too, adding more bike lanes so people can feel safe using their bicycles. I'm cool with even advocating more for those little vehicles, right? That aren't as big, aren't as expensive. But we're also finding that there aren't really mechanics here that work on some of these smaller vehicles. Any way that we can minimize the amount of trash, including the vehicles, because even tires, we have a problem with disposing tires. And I thought we had something that was some kind of system in place where we were able to take all of these old tires and be able to break them down and recycle them. But we're finding out that we don't. Yes, the government can do more. Yes, the government can create more programs and invest in more equipment to be able to break down some of these, not just the vehicles, but tires and trash and whatnot. Yeah, we can always improve. But we can't forget that there are people that are just blatantly throwing their trash anywhere, taking their mattresses and flipping it down at Tagachang or in other dark areas, or taking vehicles and crossing out the VIN numbers and whatnot and walking away. Not my problem anymore. And those people need to be held accountable. So again, I'm not against A.G. Moylan being tough on people that are just blatantly abusing the whole system. Because there is a problem. There really is. But at the same time, like, I also agree with A.G. Moylan. I don't always agree with the things that he says, but you know, if he is going to take this initiative, if he is going to if this is his new initiative, if this is something that he wants to tackle, I don't see why the rest of the government can't partner with him to be willing to address this together and sit down with him. Like, let's see how we can all make this happen with the mayors as well, right? But I mean, we understand that who else is part of this whole system of gathering these vehicles, because the mayors have also said, we're not going to take the same role that we have been in the last couple years. We're taking a step back. DPW is going to have to do the heavy lifting, more of the heavy lifting. So we'll see what happens with that. And I do hope that there is going to be more camaraderie, more of these government agencies working together. And I honestly don't care who it's with whether it's with the AG. Let's see how we can tackle this. I do know that there was more than just that. There was a press release also on the government employee at DPR also. So we'll take the break and we'll break that down in a bit.
Yeah,
and
just so you know, we have Attorney General Douglas Moylan on the line. So we're gonna we're gonna take a break and then
all right.
we'll come back to him. All right.
Okay.
All right, Wave 105. We're going to take a short little break. When we come back, more right here on Wave 105 on the Bright Side.
Need a truck that works as hard as you do? Then head to Triple J Ford's Big Deals on Big Wheels sales event. For a limited time, score prices below dealer cost and drive home America's best-selling truck for 49 years. The legendary Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Choose from the rugged XL, stylish STX, or well-equipped XLT. All backed by the strength, capability, and innovation only Ford delivers. But don't wait. All stock must go. Visit Triple J Ford in Upper Tumont or get pre-approved and shop online at triplejguam.com. Triple J Ford, customers first.
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup or delivery. Online ordering at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Good to Go. We deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Everyone has savings goals. Whatever you're saving for, Bank of Hawaii wants to help you reach your possible. That's why with our Bank Ohana 12-month CD special, you can earn 3.4% annual percentage yield with a minimum deposit of $5,000 from another bank. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So reach your savings goals with our 12-month CD special.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii. For terms and conditions, go to boh.com/CD special.
I'm Fred Berdalio Jr. The future of Guam's security and prosperity will be challenged by social and economic conditions. From drug-related crimes to higher housing costs, gas prices, food prices, and decline in tourist arrivals impacting retail businesses. Our people will need leaders who are strong, visionary, disciplined, and have the best credentials to address these issues. I'm ready to get to work as your senator. I'm Fred Berdalio Jr., and I approve this message.
KGUM-FM, Dedido, the talk of Guam. This is Wave 105.1 FM, a Glimpses Media radio station.
3:40 in the afternoon. This is the Bright Side right here on Wave 105. Thank you for tuning in. Gotta send it back to Mr. Pauly. Suba, buenas.
All right, we're just going to go to the phone lines right now. Attorney General Doug Moylan is on the line. Hoffaday, Attorney General. Hello?
Hi.
Oh, there. Hoffaday, Attorney General. I was able to watch your press conference after work to get more insight on two of the issues. And if you don't mind, if we can tackle your abandoned vehicle initiative first.
Sure.
Sure.
Is
Awesome.
this Pauly?
Yes, this is. Hoffaday, sir.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Thank
Hoffaday,
you.
Pauly.
All right.
So, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You can go ahead.
So we've, and this has been, many years, if not since my last term back in 2006 era. But Guam is getting worse. Obviously, everybody sees it with the abandoned vehicles. And it's got different dimensions to it. The governor basically hasn't been doing her job, and her cabinet has been dropping the ball on this. But because it's such a pressing matter, and the fact that it's poisoning our aquifers, when those cars start to deteriorate from the oil, transmission fluid, radiator fluid, power steering, you name it, the fluids that are going into those cars are going out into the drinking water. So we've got a program now called the A.G. Moylan Guam Bomb Busters Project, and it's intended to criminally charge those individuals that are the registered owners of those vehicles and to have them answer to the juries about how their vehicle got onto property, most of it which are being put on government property. They've got several statutes out there that make it a felony to do that type of behavior, including the waste management statute, part of that littering, that's a felony. Destruction of the VINs, most of those cars are being burned. They're trying to conceal the ownership of the vehicle, but we have ways of determining whose car is those vehicles. EPA violations for the contamination of the ground soil and the drinking water, as well as trespass. So, yeah, we're going to find them. Our motto is we will find you. For those people that are dumping their vehicles like that, we're also having an amnesty period. I haven't decided how long it's going to last, but for anyone that does believe that their car was put on government property, coming forward, working with the government and the village mayors, as well as, Revenue Tax and DPW, so that those cars get taken away and properly disposed. Now, the problem isn't just as simple as, you charge somebody and it's going to go away. It's got to create the deterrence so that people, when they're trying to get rid of their vehicles, are finding ways, the proper way to dispose of vehicles. You've got Global Recycling, Lujan's wrecker service. Different people actually want those vehicles because of the parts and things. You have Mayor, the Mamang Totem Mighty Mayor. That's
Mayor Paco?
Right, Mayor Paco. Great project that he had. He took a lot of his abandoned vehicles, put them in a field, and had the villagers go at it to strip the parts out, which is usually for those home mechanics. They're a treasure trove of parts, a lot of these cars. Mm-hmm. So, the community needs to get rid of them. We got shiploads of cars coming in every month, but getting them out of this island obviously has been a plague for our community, hurting our tourism, but most of all hurting our limited and our clean aquifer right now. We're already talking about salt getting into it because of the over tapping. I heard it was one of the reasons why we're getting salt water into our aquifer. So, yeah, it's a project that needs to be done. I've got a limited amount of resources and a limited amount of prosecutors and staff, but we're going to do it.
When you said said you have a system in place to make sure that you are able to charge the person that owns a vehicle, right? The right person should be the one that gets charged. Sometimes I had a cousin that actually told me that he got the phone call and he was being fined for abandoning his vehicle. Like a mayor had called him. Right.
Right. There's a civil side, it's a $1,000 fine for abandoning the vehicle. We're going to use the criminal side.
Okay.
The senators have made it so difficult in order for the government and giving all these rights to these people that literally don't want this property and are littering. But there's criminal statutes that the AG has full authority over, has the ability to take it before we in the community, the juries, grand jury, and it's a felony, so it would be going before a grand jury. Setting the proper tone in the community. This is your trash. Stop dumping it on government property because all of us are paying for it. This is just the whole idea of why they're going to be charging each home the pickup fees when they should really just make it as a service and build it into our taxes, because what's going to happen is people are going to dump it in the side roads. They're not going to be part of the system of trash pickup, village trash pickup. But this one, we also have the 3 R's program, which is a criminal diversion program that we just announced, I think about two or 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that are going to be made available for deferring their prosecutions, we're going to use them to be working with the village mayors in order to identify the information in these cars, and I don't care if they burn them, we can still find out who owns it. And working with Reventax as well as the vehicle dealerships on finding out who they are and just bring it before a grand jury, put the evidence in front of them, and then let them go forward towards trial, and they can tell it to the judge and the jury. Because this is intolerable and unacceptable. It harms us on so many different levels, and obviously the tourism. The tourists that come to Guam and have a bad experience and see a junkyard, you think they're going to come back? All the studies have shown, and the reports, the feedback from tourists is Guam already has a problem that when they come here, they don't come back.
Well, the worry is that the person has the transfer of property deed. And so how is it that they're different in the
that's
system?
That's not what's going to happen.
Okay.
With this type, once you go to Reventax, you can't just sell your car. It's a piece of property that is tagged to your name, and there's laws that require you that if you sell it, you got to go to Reventax, provide the proper documentation, and then transfer it out of your name into another person's name. They're the holders of the pink slips, certificates of ownership, and so forth. It's not easy to get rid of a car. This is almost like a house, that there's a lot of identification on the vehicle, on that property, and a tagging it to an individual that purchases it. So under the law, we believe that we can establish that there is sufficient evidence that the person, the last registered owner, has a responsibility and at the minimum should not be dumping them or allowing the car to be transferred to someone else without proper transfer information, because there's a separate statute dealing with that when you don't properly transfer your vehicles. So
I
it's
totally
all around.
agree.
There's laws all over the place on these things.
I totally agree. I'm worried about people that are going to try to game the system too and file a stolen vehicle report and then use that.
But that's what people do, Pauly, right? That's what, and we'll have that information, and if they're charged, they can come forward with it. But that's what the normal law-abiding citizen does. I own a car. My car was taken. Call the police, get a police report number, and then it's in the system, right? The criminal justice system. The police work with the Attorney General's office, which works with the Department of Revenue and Tax, and the whole government itself, mechanism. And this is you go back to reasonableness, right? It's a reasonable type of scenario. But if we hear this, that, hey, I sold my car, well, that's not going to be enough information. The amnesty is going to be important, because when we start doing the indictments and the charging on it, if these people come forward and they're within an amnesty period, they'll be able to take that vehicle, get it off the property, get the tow truck, and take it over to Global Recycling or Lujan's or whoever dispose of those vehicles. It's also a shout out to the next governor. Set up an effective system. Ever since I got in 2023, I've been meeting after meeting, talking with the administration, and them doing nothing. There's 3 companies on Guam that are fully capable in order to process out these vehicles. And when I say process out, I mean get them off Guam. They have a proven track record of putting them in containers, having the contacts with the shippers, and in some place in Asia that actually burns them down and recycles them. There's also one company on Guam that can actually take apart those vehicles and then use the different components for resaleable items. So, yeah, but this governor has done nothing, and that's been the problem.
I got a question, because you were talking about
Ryan.
This is Ryan St. Nicholas. Because you were talking about resources, right? And that you're limited as far as your office is concerned now.
That's right.
I mean, so when you launch this program, I'm almost certain that it's going to need some funding and everything. Have you been looking towards the abandoned vehicle fund?
No. You see, this is the whole idea. Excuses. I don't tolerate excuses in the AG's office, and my staff knows that. This is a system, a program that's been worked on for literally over a year, if not the past 4 years. Hence my meeting with the Lieutenant Governor and his people and DPW and seeing nothing being done. This is a in-house. AG's office has full discretion, prosecutorial discretion of charging people with crimes. Once they're charged with a crime, the end of the equation for criminal justice type of cases is restitution. Restitution report comes in. It's going to take the people of Guam this amount of money to take that vehicle, put it on a truck, take it over to the recycling center, pay the recycler to take the vehicle. That's all going to go to the registered vehicle owner.
Okay.
That's the type of system. We're how would you say, we're built for it already. But do I need more cases, criminal cases? Absolutely not. So the one that really should be doing this is the administration. The governor is responsible for this.
As far as funding with the abandoned vehicle fund, with the streetlight,
there's money, right?
There is money. So that's
look
what
at
I'm
the
saying.
legislature.
Yeah.
Every time they meet, all I hear is Senator Duenas getting into arguments with BBMR, DOA. They're playing hide the ball in this governor's administration. Nobody knows how much of the billions of dollars that are coming in every year is where it's at. They're playing hide the ball. You talk to the public auditor. He cites, hey, this money is not recoverable because the feds, they violate the federal program. We're going to have to pay it out of the government coffers and stuff. This is the type of poor leadership that's coming out of the executive branch, which controls most of the 80% of the $1.4 billion in our economy that's coming in, is the governor, her cabinet, the DPW, the Parks and Rec. It's all part of the governor's responsibility when she's given most of the money. So, yeah, it is going to cost more for the AG's office to have to go after this. But when you talk about the hierarchy of needs, right? When you've got people that are dying out there from the meth addicts, we go after the meth addicts. We go after the source of it, which, again, the governor was told it's coming through the port and the oceans. She's done nothing in the past 2 years since I brought it up to them. With this case, it's going to poison us. It's going to cause the same effect that people are going to go through pain and suffering when those chemicals, those toxic chemicals that are in everybody's car, starts leaking into the groundwater. Dededo, Jigo, we're already hearing about there's allegations about the dehydrin in the water system. This is the last thing we need is for decades of cars to be contaminating the community. So how do we do it from the AG's perspective? We could do civil cases that are going to last the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, let alone lucky if you find these people. You start a criminal complaint against somebody, marshals start looking for them. There's bench warrants that get in the criminal justice system. They can't even get off Guam if there's a warrant for their arrest because the customs officers will arrest them at the port of entry. It even goes to the states. These people that leave Guam go to the states thinking that they're free of the criminal justice system. They're not, because it's an integrated system. So, yeah, that's it. That's all the thought that has been put into this program. We will get them. We will find them. There's going to be a bunch of people that are going to be listed as registered owners of these vehicles that have abandoned their vehicles, and they're facing a trial and jail time. They're felonies.
Did anybody call yet between now and the press conference identifying themselves as such? Because I know you said there's an amnesty program or amnesty time frame that has started immediately, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure that would be part of either they use the QR code or the email address. I haven't checked.
Okay.
But yeah, it would behoove everybody that knows that their car may be sitting in somebody else's yard or somebody's in the government property to give notice to the AG's office that you want to remove that vehicle.
Ryan,
and, obviously we want law-abiding citizens. We want people to comply with the law. Want them to man up to it, come forward and say you made a mistake, get it out of there, and let's just move forward.
And Ryan was saying early on, he recommends that anybody that might not know for sure if it actually went through the proper channels, through the right way, and DRT no longer has you as the owner, that they do that they contact DRT and make sure that they're in the clear. And do you recommend that too?
I recommend it, but the problem with that is that they're probably not going to get the other party that dumped the car to come forward and sign off on the documents, because a lot of these sales are just basically, if they're foolish enough just to sell it without changing the registration on it. There's also civil liability, so the next guy that gets the car gets into an accident, you're still going to be held civilly liable because rev and tax will show you. But for our purposes, they need to come forward, and it's probably going to be, even though you sold to this person, it's in Jigo, in the side of the road, they're probably going to have to suck it up and pay the fee to have it removed.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's the end of the equation.
Understood.
Right.
And then the other press conference was on Christine Okerell, right? And so, understanding that the grand jury has indicted her, and she faces tampering with public records as a third-degree felony, and her arraignment is scheduled for September 10. I was listening to the press conference, and there is a chance that there could be other other charges either with her or other individuals?
Right, so for purposes of that case, obviously all defendants are innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of the ongoing investigation. So we were reaching out through the medias to our client, which is the people of Guam.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone with information about that Tigua cemetery, to please come forward, whether you're part of the government, whether you have family members that are buried in that cemetery and have seen the grass overgrowing the times. I've even heard of people bush cutting it when there's contracts in place for the landscaping services on the comfort cuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the type of outreach we're doing, is to ask people to come forward to our office. It is an open investigation. There are other targets of the investigation. There is an active grand jury that's investigating this, the entire issue about what happened with Parks and Recreation and comfort cuts. So we're looking for witnesses, people that can cooperate, and even people that may have been part of a conspiracy to defraud the government, things like that. Come forward now, because if we have to indict you before a grand jury, it's going to be much worse than those that are trying to cooperate and make the government whole.
These are pretty serious charges because, again, you're using taxpayer monies to allegedly profit yourself.
Right. That was the $50,000. I think in the indictment it talked about a contract, a bid that had been modified from what it was originally bid out for the amount. So, yeah, at the end, government corruption cases are white-collar type cases that deal with the loss of taxpayer monies in large amounts. And that's why the public auditor has been issuing all his reports for the past 8 years under this administration, is to show how all this money is allegedly being misspent, misused, and we, the taxpayers, are being harmed because of it. It's not like the burglary that occurs or the robbery that occurs at a liquor store where, maybe there's a $500 taken. These deal with the millions of dollars in general government corruption type of investigations. And on this one, this is one of many that our office has had referred to us for the past 4 years. So, yeah, it's trying to bring justice to the people of Guam. It's hard to see the victim when we're all the victim. But, I mean, it exists. The way to look at it is when you have corruption going on, all this stuff we're seeing in all three big functions of government. Public safety, the prison is overcrowded. They think that they need a huge, larger prison. The schools, we've got Simon Sanchez and all these schools that are going double sessions. We're shortchanging the kids, not providing them their adequate education. And then healthcare, hospitals falling apart. All three large categories are deteriorating on Guam. And when you have corruption that's pushing all this money to corrupt activities or people that shouldn't receive it, that's the type of bleeding that goes on in the government corruption investigation. Somebody's got to track it.
I'm glad that you brought up Simon Sanchez, or the Tizin, right? And so there's Dr. Wampat says that lawyers are going to want to look at the current contract with the lease agreements and maybe modify it. Do you want to be part of that conversation? Because you're supposed to be part of
not
contracts.
So this is what the legislature has done. Since the elected Attorney General, which was created by Congress, in 1998, the Attorney General is the chief legal officer of the government of Guam. What is the government of Guam? It's defined in the Organic Act, and it's basically everything that we're seeing that our taxpayer dollars are going to. The legislature, through different legislatures, has cut up Broadway, and they're giving all these non-elected attorneys these purviews in different parts of our government. A big one is Department of Education, DOE. DOE has 3 attorneys that are over there, not under the control of the Attorney General. And the courts need to bring harmony. They need to recognize that if people elect their attorney, and these people that are masquerading as the government's attorneys are doing so without the mandate of the people. So when you talk about what's going on in Simon Sanchez, all these school issues, the charter school issues and stuff, those guys have their own attorneys. And from, I guess, the normal person looking from the outside in, they are hurting the kids. They're bungling the administration of millions of taxpayer dollars, both federal and local. And the outcome is the kids are not getting the same education that maybe you and I had received in the past because they're messed up. You name it, from the top down, from the superintendent not being able to do that person's job to the facilities managers over there. In the private sector, you would have been fired by now. They would have thrown you out and gotten somebody capable of doing the job because the end product isn't there. By the way, step back a moment. In 2023, what was the first government corruption case that our office initiated when I took over the AG's office again? Government Corruption Division was opened. We went after public health because those guys in their sanitary permit, they were not issuing they weren't inspecting the schools in order to ensure that they were safe and facilities that were being properly maintained. And that was for, I think, about 10 years before I came in 2023. It was a whole pattern. We took them in before the grand jury, got the indictments, and started the prosecution. What did those guys do to us? They disqualified the Attorney General. Why do you disqualify the elected Attorney General, the people's Attorney General? Are you afraid of something? Look at the Manila Hospital. They kept on trying to throw me out. That is the type of corruption that I'm talking about, when the system is trying to prevent the people from having their representative fight for them in court. So, yeah, my comment on DOE, the legislature better take away those lawyers, make them work for the Attorney General that the people elect, and then maybe we can get a unified legal policy. Because something's going on in DOE, and it's not our responsibility, the AG's office, because we were told that we're not supposed to be part of that organization.
Understood. I appreciate this, Attorney General. We'll continue to keep an eye on your initiatives and communicate that with our audience, too. I appreciate this.
Thank you. I'm not going to give up, and I call ourselves the resistance. If a governor is hurting our client, which is the people of Guam, you're going to get kickback from an AG Moylan administration. I did it in 2003 to 2006. I did it from 2023 up until this day. And if I have anything to do with the next AG's office, we're going to continue to hunt down these government officials that are wasting our money and hurting us.
Understood, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pauly.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend. KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam. We're going to take the break, give you your AP News, and then on the other side, we'll help you move forward with a traffic report. My friend Jermaine, too, I wanted to reach out to him. He is part of the TCG industry, so eventually we'll get in touch with him. We'll take this break now and give you the AP News.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Amid his trade war with Canada, President Trump's taken further action, signing an executive order that would rename Lake Ontario as Lake America, at least for the U.S. As for trade,
people oftentimes, they'll ask me, who's the worst to deal with on trade? And I said, that's easy, Canada. They are the worst to trade, and they feel entitled, and just we can't have that.
Meanwhile, Donna Warder reports Canada is reducing its dependence on U.S. suppliers of military gear.
Wuxley is a Canadian company that makes luxury parkas. Now it's branching into defense contracting, making helmet covers for the Canadian military. James Urachuk is founder and CEO.
There's a lot of engineering. Here's a complete garment. A lot of engineering goes into here. You see the quality.
The Canadian government is investing billions of dollars. Volatus Aerospace in Vaughan, Canada makes drones. CEO Glenn Lynch.
The objective is to develop the technologies that the Canadian Armed Forces needs, which are also including, kinetic products, because those are required and they have to be built in Canada.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has vowed to strengthen the country's economic self-sufficiency amid fraying relations with Washington. I'm Donna Warder.
Search and rescue efforts continue along the Nepal-China border, where the collapse of a glacier sent torrents of water and mud through Himalayan communities. More than 390 people are known to have been killed, more than 1,400 missing. In Massachusetts, the murder trial of Lindsay Clancy's gone to the jury. She's accused of strangling her 3 children. Her lawyers argue she was experiencing postpartum psychosis at the time. Jurors must decide whether she was criminally responsible. And ICE has awarded a $16.7 million contract to purchase 6,000 pairs of gloves that can deliver painful electric shocks. ICE says it's for controlling detainees and protesters. This is AP News. Lisa Dwyer reports relocated radio equipment may have contributed to a close call at the White House earlier this month.
When air traffic controllers could not hear pilots from the president's helicopter radio in as an airliner was taking off from Reagan National Airport, in spite of a meeting the week before over concerns about communications issues. That's according to a preliminary report by the National Transportation Safety Board, which says recordings from the tower show controllers could not hear the pilot from Marine One. But in recordings from ATC.com, the Marine One pilot can be heard making those calls.
Nash Tower, Marine One, proceeding as briefed.
The controller seems surprised a few minutes later when the helicopter is taking off.
Marine One, you said you're proceeding as briefed?
Then,
7, okay, no, 3 minutes, Roger, proceed as briefed.
The radio transmission equipment has now been relocated to improve line of sight. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The latest at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to KGUM-FM Dedido, Wave 105.1 FM, the talk of Guam, a proud Glimpses media radio station.
Straight up for 05 in the afternoon, and that means it's time to take a look at the roads of Guam on your daily commute, moving you forward along with Guam Auto Spot. Mr. Pauly Suba, buenas.
All right. Roads are wet, so just already be extra cautious, right? Looking at Route 16, I'm already seeing congestion. Did everybody get off already? That's what it looks like.
It's Friday, man.
Mild delay. What are we doing here, Ryan? Everybody got off already.
Man.
They're either heading down to Hoggett or they're heading to Zotnya, right?
Yeah, early bird gets the worm.
Yeah, so mild delays, Upper Tumon area between John F. Kennedy and St. John's. Heavy congestion actually down in Tumon trying to get up back onto one. Route 16, I'm looking at it as well as you head throughout the Harmon Loop area and headed towards the Micronesia Mall. The Sushi and Burgers Road. Major delays there. It is slow moving. That is not a shortcut. Route 16 over to the Tri intersection. You're going to see some delays. Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, I'm looking at all the places that are usually heavily congested at 5 o'clock are congested right now.
Yeah.
Route 8 to the Tri. Route 4 over to 10, and mild delays 10, making that left down to Pagu Bay. Once again, helping you move forward on this Friday.
Yay!
That's Guam Auto Spot. 478 Auto is the number, and the website to check out the inventory is guamautospot.com.
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup or delivery. Online ordering at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Good to Go. We deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Need a truck that works as hard as you do? Then head to Triple J Ford's Big Deals on Big Wheels sales event. For a limited time, score prices below dealer cost and drive home America's best-selling truck for 49 years. The legendary Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Choose from the rugged XL, stylish STX, or well-equipped XLT. All backed by the strength, capability, and innovation only Ford delivers. But don't wait. All stock must go. Visit Triple J Ford in Upper Tumon or get pre-approved and shop online at triplejguam.com. Triple J Ford, customers first.
I'm Fred Berdalio Jr. The future of Guam's security and prosperity will be challenged by social and economic conditions. From drug-related crimes to higher housing costs, gas prices, food prices, and decline in tourist arrivals impacting retail businesses. Our people will need leaders who are strong, visionary, disciplined, and have the best credentials to address these issues. I'm ready to get to work as your senator. I'm Fred Berdalio Jr., and I approve this message.
Everyone has savings goals. Whatever you're saving for, Bank of Hawaii wants to help you reach your possible. That's why with our Bank Ohana 12-month CD special, you can earn 3.4% annual percentage yield with a minimum deposit of $5,000 from another bank. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So reach your savings goals with our 12-month CD special.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii. For terms and conditions, go to boh.com/CD special.
Off a day. I'm Clint Rigel, and I'm running for senator.
If you're looking for proven, effective leadership, vote for me, and let's grow Guam together. I'm Clint Mergel, and I approve this message.
Want to learn more about Guam's charter schools and what makes them unique? Tune in to Charter School Hour every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on Wave 105. Hear directly from Guam's charter schools about their students, programs, success stories, and the different approaches they're bringing to education. That's the Charter School Hour, presented by the Guam Charter School Alliance. Every Friday, 1 to 2 p.m., only on Wave 105. Listen, learn, share.
Half a day, I'm Callan Perez and I'm running for senator. Service to our island has shaped my life, from community advocacy and substance abuse recovery to supporting sustainable agriculture. Inspired by my parents, Dr. Perez and Dr. Erickson, I remain committed to serving the people of Guam. I'm Callan Perez and I approve this message.
With decades experience in Guam and the region, Take Care members have access to the largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs. Membership also includes the high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers and the one-stop FHB Health Center and urgent care. Ask for Take Care. Call 671-647-3526. Go to takecareasia.com for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
This is where Guam comes to talk. Wave 105. A Glimpses of Guam radio station.
Welcome back to the show. Here's the number, 671-922-1051 or 2. Phone lines are wide open. And you know, Pauly, we had Attorney Doug on the line, and one of the callers called up, and he was, and I'm sure Attorney Doug is listening right now, AG Doug. The question was, and it kind of almost went through the same thing that I asked, what is happening with the money that we are paying as far as the abandoned vehicle? Yeah. And he brought up the global recycling, and he was saying, but those guys do charge a fee. And it's like, if I'm paying the abandoned vehicle fund when I register my car, and then go take my car to the global recycling, I'm going to get charged a fee. So it's like I'm getting getting double charged pretty much for the same vehicle. And so, Attorney Doug, AG Doug, if you are listening, that is the question from one of our callers.
Yeah, no, that is a good question. However, that to me still doesn't give anybody the right to just be like, I paid this fee, so it ain't my problem no more. I mean, you're still littering a huge hunk of metal, right? So
True.
I just don't think that that's the responsible thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk to Jermaine Alerta.
Oh,
he's a good
Brother
friend of
Jermaine.
mine for
Love the guy.
years now.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk to him.
My
'cause
old boss,
I know he's a
actually.
government. He's been in government for a long time, right? And he's such a intelligent individual. It's always good to see people pick him up so that he can be a part of the team. But I really wanted to have the conversation because this TCG industry trading card game is really taking off, and so Jermaine has been going to these trading card symposiums or
Expos?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he is one of the more popular ones too.
Really?
Yeah. Is Jermaine on now?
Yes, he's on the line right now.
Half a day, Jermaine. I appreciate this. How's everything going, Jermaine?
Doing well, Pauly. How are you?
Always good. No complaints. We got the weekend coming up. Are there any expos this weekend?
I know there is a show at or a trade event at my wife told me to sell it in Harmon.
Okay.
That's free. That's free publicity for them.
There you go. Yeah. I almost
yeah,
thought, I was like, wait a
few
minute.
Vendors there.
I know it's been a while since I talked to you, but I didn't know you got married. That's the name of the shop, right?
Yeah, the name of the shop is my wife told me to sell it. They were formerly in the Compadres Mall, but they've since moved to a bigger space, which allows, I guess, more space for their customers to come on in and look around at what they have.
Right, and so I mean, I've noticed. I mean, it's no secret that this is more than a fad, but it has really taken off, not just in Guam, all over, right? But you just saying that there's a show this weekend just proves that you can go every weekend. There's practically something at this point, right?
Yeah, for this will be at least if I'm recalling it correctly, this will be the fourth consecutive weekend that there is an event at one of the local shops. I guess some of them were smaller than others, but like last week there was one at Frames Collectibles in Manila. The week before that was the Island Academy.
Yes,
the one being done by the Island Techies and Card Show, and then the week before that was the I don't know the exact name of the event, but it was the one at Donkey.
Yes.
It was a con convention.
My brother,
Your brother was there.
My brother was selling too, right? And so here's the thing: is I knew that my brother collected Pokemon cards long time ago, long when we were just children, right?
Yeah.
However, time goes by and you get into other things, and I didn't realize how. I didn't realize that he got back into it until I went to the Mango Festival and he was selling Pokemon cards at the Mango Festival.
He invited me to join him, and I was like, I don't know about that. It's outdoors. It's going to be hot. I don't know if I can handle that.
Right. And so we went and hung out at his booth towards the end of the night. And there were people still coming over to buy Pokemon packs, right? At like 8 at night.
People are always looking for it. I mean, like you mentioned, right? I mean, at least for me. So let me just go back a little bit. So I know you said I'm part of the TCG industry. I'm actually a sports cards collector first.
Okay.
And it just so happens that Pokemon and other TCG cards have gotten really big here. So it's just a natural expansion, I think, for sports cards enthusiasts who want to be more involved in some of the events that are going on, because the way it is right now is the TCG stuff is really the market for trading cards, right? For collecting cards, and the sports cards, although it's been around longer, it's taken more of a backseat, only because I think for TCG, especially Pokemon, it allows for more people to want to get involved, right? Because the ages range from young children, the age of 1 to the oldest of adults, right? And I think that's why the community has gotten as big as it has.
And it's cool because, to be honest with you, when we started doing the Pokemon virtual game, right, I was thinking, okay, this might be the end of the trading cards, right? However, we kind of went full circle, and we're right back to just trading cards.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like you said, Pokemon Go was a big thing a few years ago, right? And then you kind of saw younger people, right, where we're kind of leading them back towards the cards because they started getting more interested. Maybe they didn't have phones at the time, right? But then the cards were still available. Now it's kind of coming full circle, like you said, where people, the cards, everyone. It's accessible to everyone, right? Everyone can get a hold of it. I mean, obviously, sometimes the stores are out of it because it's so popular. But it allows people of all ages, like I said, and it allows families, right? So now you have parents who are collecting cards with their kids, or parents or uncles or aunties who are going with their nephews and nieces or their kids to these events because they see the joy that it brings them. And then it also adds a touch of nostalgia for the adults, right? Because they once were familiar with these cards when they were younger, and now it's bringing them back. So it's something that like the whole family can enjoy, and I think that's really what is driving its popularity, is that everyone can take part of it. Everyone can take part in it, and it's like a whole. It's actually a family event.
Sure. And all of this is happening while there's so much uncertainty with the economy, especially here in Guam, right? And so somebody like yourself, who also, what is the name of your company? Because you as a seller.
I'm just a collector, dude.
Well,
I needed something. I needed something to show off my collection,
trading,
right?
So what is the name of
your? I use Main Man Collect.
There you go, Main Man Collectibles.
Main
Man Collects. So
so follow me on Instagram.
Yeah. So you are like I would say a local celebrity at these shops, because you also post on your social media and you get a lot of interaction there too. It's because you have this, and I felt it since the day that I met you. You have an aura about you where you're so inviting. You're a friendly person.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and so that translates.
So are you.
But that translates through your posts, and so your posts are always heartwarming.
So something that I've started recently doing. I want to say so I only really started getting back into collecting cards about a year ago, right?
Okay.
It's going to be about a year in October, but there's a lot of content creators on social media, right? That film themselves and they post interactions.
Mm-hmm.
They do editing and all that stuff to make to kind of give people an opportunity to see what can go on during these events, and it really interested me because, like you said, I've always been a social person, and one of the big reasons why I enjoy, aside from just collecting, is I get to interact with different people. Right? I get to meet new people. I get to understand why people are interested in collecting cards. And for me, it really catches me. Right? It really captivates me, because then I get to learn different reasons of why people do it. Right? Because not everyone has the same reason, right. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to record and keep record of the interactions I have, is because when I watch it, it brings me a sense of happiness when I watch it. So I want people to also experience that, because unless you're there, you wouldn't ever have any real sense of what goes on during the interactions, whether they be good or bad. But fortunately for me, the majority of it has always been good. So I want to share that with people, and a lot of people, the feedback I've gotten is people are like, "Wow, that's so cool, that's so nice," and it's good, because I think part of what's going to keep this thing popular and keep driving it is if everyone of every age gets to enjoy it, and I think that's part of why I like doing it, is because I like to see people happy doing it.
And then there's bad actors, right? And there are people that are doing this only for the money and wanting to even take advantage of anybody and everybody, including children. And you don't do that. And so there is a ethical part about this game too, or this industry. And all the responsible people are coming together and protecting this community, right?
Well, like I said, I think it's because it brings a certain joy to people, right? I mean, whatever way it brings joy to you, the fact of the matter is that you enjoy it. So I think people want to keep that. People just naturally want to see not just themselves happy, but those around them happy. And I think going to these events, interacting with people you've never met before, and you probably would have never met, and seeing them smile, seeing kids laugh, seeing parents, the look in parents or the adults' faces when they see how happy these children are, that also makes you as a person, as an individual, very happy. And I think that's again why people do it, and why it's going to continue to flourish.
Yeah, my son actually has even moved on to stickers. the World Cup. He bought this sticker book. I was
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, these aren't even cards. These are stickers. And he goes, they're collectibles. And apparently, the way this works is you keep collecting these mystery stickers or whatever, because you don't know what you're going to get, just like the trading, the packs, right? And the goal is to try to complete the booklet. And I was looking at it, I'm like, dude, this is expensive. And he goes, well, you take your time, you don't buy it all at once.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well,
And
I guess
kind of
that's the responsible
That's kind of the
thing
thing
to
with,
do.
with these Pokemon cards or these trading cards, right? Is that there's sets that a lot of people want to complete sets, right? It's like a goal for them, right? To complete these sets, and you can go from the 10, 20-cent cards all the way up to the cards that are worth hundreds and maybe even thousands. And the part of the thrill is
the chase.
You're trying to find ways to get every card that you need to finish the set, whether it means buying them outright, opening them in packs, which is another form of excitement. It has its own excitement when you open packs and get your own card, or trading up for the cards. And I think that's why you see people attending these events, why you see it continue to grow, is because the community here is very supportive of getting people to accomplish these small goals that they have for themselves as individuals, is seeing a set, wanting to master set it, and then going out there and trying every which way to do it with the help of those in the community.
Right. And it also, you shared a video recently, and you shared it with me too, and what I saw is reciprocity in action, right? You were kind to this individual's, this dad, and to his children, and they saw that, and so they come back around, and they also wanted to give you something that was somewhat rare, right? And so that's really
it was really unexpected. I mean, so the story behind that, the main story was that I had done a giveaway, right? Kind of a social media giveaway, just to kind of show appreciation for the number of people I've gotten to follow my card collecting account, and apparently, so this gentleman, his name's Sean. His the part of the contest was tag someone, and that enters you into this for free, right? And you get to win a prize. And he tagged his mom, and his mom also joined, right? So she tagged someone else, and so his mom ended up winning. I contacted her. She said, "Oh, is it okay if my son picks it up at the show? He'll be going. I won't be able to go." And then I said, sure, that's fine, because I've dealt with him in the past. We've traded cards before. And then he came up to me, and again, he picked up the cards. And then I had some packs lying around, and he had 3 young kids with him. And I said, these packs, I'm not going to open them. So this is early on in the show. So I said, here you go. So you guys all can get a pack. And then he ended up buying some cards from my booth. And then, time passed. He went around. He came back, and there's a certain character I like to collect, and I guess word gets around because I like to post it on social media. And he came up to me and he asked me, do you have this card? And I said, I do have it, but, I don't mind buying it from you. And he goes, oh, no, it's yours.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really was caught off guard. I was like, I didn't expect it. I'm not doing it because I want something, but just the kind-heartedness and stuff like that, it happens a lot. You'd be surprised because it happens so much during these events, not just with kids, but like you saw there, it was adult to adult, right? And I didn't expect anything. I'm sure he didn't expect me to give the kids that were with him anything. But, it's just at the moment you kind of feel, let me just add to these kids. These kids are already smiling. Let me have them smile a little bit more. And that's kind of why I enjoy going to these events, because you get, even there's those opportunities where you get a chance to make kids or just anyone, right, adults, people in general, you can make them a little bit happier.
Do you agree with what the Targets and the Walmarts are doing with the packages? So that way,
I do. I don't resell stuff. I don't buy sealed products. So maybe my view is a little bit different, but I like it. I like it because it moves the emphasis away from just reselling instead of the collecting, right? Because what I've seen a lot of is people are trying to go and buy these products, at lower prices, right? And people who they notoriously refer to as scalpers have bought up all this product, and then they're going out and reselling it.
Yeah, to make a huge profit sometimes.
Nothing. I mean, that's totally their right to do so. I mean, you purchase it, you can do whatever you want with it right after you've purchased it, but it kind of takes away from the opportunity from others to get more involved. So products aren't available, and the ones that are now available are being sold at prices higher than they originally were being sold at. So it's a negative thing. I do like that the stores are doing that. I don't know how it's going to affect their sales to people, but I mean,
right.
I think if there's more opportunity for people to get these products at affordable prices,
Right.
the better it's going to be for everybody.
I mean, again, like I said, there are bad actors in no matter what community, right? But what I have so far have seen is you protect your community, or at least you keep your circle only with the people that you trust. And so eventually when these traders or collectors lose trust in this community, they get pushed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big thing, right? Is that you really want to do this thing for the enjoyment aspect of it. And I think when there are certain actions that are being done that suck the joy out of it, that make it not fun anymore, people are going to lose interest. And that's kind of what I don't want to see happen, is that people lose interest because they've had a negative experience or a bad experience in whatever way, right? Whether it be they can't buy this, they've paid too much, someone ripped them off, right? Quote unquote ripped them off.
Right.
And then they lose interest and no longer want to take part in the community. And I think that's kind of what I don't want to see happen. I hope it doesn't happen, because my experience the last couple of months, and my short experience, has been very, very positive, where people are trying to help grow, and you can see the kindness that people are showing to one another.
Yeah, I love it so much. I mean, when I see the joy in somebody's face and you're interacting with them too, and it's so cool to see it all come like full circle. Like I said, my brother loved collecting Pokemon, and then life just gets a hold of us, and we have to do all kinds of serious things, and we have our jobs, and you can see the passion, right? This is like his passion project. He's doing it and using his weekends with his family. And like yourself too, because you're very busy as well during the week. Like, this is what you're passionate about, and you see so many people like-minded that have the same passion to just creating a community within a community.
Yeah, and your brother, I got to give credit to your brother. Your brother was actually kind of the person who got me kind of interested into Pokemon, only because in my first interactions with collecting cards, he showed me Pokemon cards. He goes, I have these available. And I only at the time, I knew Pikachu and Charizard, right? That's all I knew. And he was like, yeah, those are the ones that are always popular.
It's the basic.
And I have some that if you want to get them, right? And I said, you know what? You convinced me I want to get them. And then ever since then, I've always been a little bit interested in it. Now I'm more interested in it. But he was kind of the first person kind of that made me kind of get interested in the Pokemon scene.
Yeah. And there's more too, right? Because when you really get into it, everybody has their favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's, I didn't know this, but there's like over 1,000 Pokemon, I believe, and just keeping track of it, and people are always excited when their favorite character gets, one of the rare cards and stuff like that, or they get one of the nicer cards, and people are like, oh, I want to get that, and something gets real popular, and then now people want to go and find every single card of their favorite character, and that is one of the things that adds to the enjoyment of this kind of activity.
Did you see that one video where the two brothers were opening up packs and the first boy, he shows, I guess this is a trend on TikTok or on social media, where you open up the pack in front of the camera, right? And you're flipping your cards. You don't know what you have, and there's nothing. They're all just like commons and whatnot, right? And then the next brother comes, and he opens up the pack, and he instantly sees like a little bit of gold on the corners of the card, and they know this is going to be a rare, but they don't know exactly what it is. You saw that video?
I did, and their reaction was priceless, right? It was so great to hear them screaming and shouting for joy and everything. Yeah.
The star was the mom, though, because the mom was like trying to console one little boy and also be happy with the other boy.
For the other son, yeah.
Yeah. She was the star. She actually was the one that stole my heart. Is like, look at this mother. She wants to console this one boy because he's screaming. And then the other boy's screaming, but they're screaming for different reasons.
She's trying to support both of her sons, but for entirely different reasons. And you know, Pauly, I mean, there are so many examples of that on social media that you can see, and you see the different reactions, right? You see brothers and sisters, you see parents. I saw a video where a dad was with his daughter, and the daughter was opening packs. The dad didn't know what's going on, and then the daughter opened what's commonly referred to in Pokemon as a God Pack, where every card inside of it is like a rare card.
Wow!
So she pulled it, and he was like so happy for her, and she was almost speechless. But he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy! I'm so happy!" And just the smiles, right? And you're like, man, can you imagine if? And you always want to imagine that's you in that scenario, right, where you're opening packs with someone, a close friend or a close family member, or if you're a parent, right, you're opening with your child, or vice versa.
Yeah.
If you're a child, you're opening with your parents, and something like that happens, you kind of see yourself in their shoes. And I think that also is what brings a lot of joy to people, is when they see it, they're like, that could happen to me, and I hope one day it does happen to me, and I'm going to be just as happy when it does happen.
You know, it was weird because I was like, I don't know what the big deal is. They pulled a rare. Why is that other boy not happy? He goes, because he didn't pull it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess because the two different experiences, right? But I'm like, it's both of your cards. Is it? Don't you get to share? And you know, obviously, my kid's like, no, Dad, you don't get it.
I know what's mine is mine.
Yeah, well, because he had the opportunity to have that pack. There were two packs, right? And so he grabbed. He was this close from grabbing the right pack and opening it up and having that experience that he just saw his brother experience.
Yep.
And
yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, but it's bittersweet, but also again that mother is such a great mom. The way she supported both of them at the same time. I appreciate you, Jermaine. Main Man collectibles. Man collect, and so he's not going to be hard to find. His he's one of the he's got the brightest smile in the room. So and then when he speaks and even when he sings, you know it's Jermaine. So
speaking of singing, when are we going to do Wet?
Rock Island's closed, man. That era is over for me.
No, we can do a Wilson Phillips with Ryan.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, we graduated from karaoke bars. Now we do it at barbecues.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know.
If they'll let us.
When Rock Island closed, so did my career.
Well, you guys have a good weekend, man.
You better not share any of those videos. I am not the same person. I have changed. I am a changed man.
Those have since been deleted, Pauly. Don't worry. I broke that phone. I burned it. I did everything to that phone. I didn't have the cloud or anything, so none of that stuff exists.
Thank you so much. Man. See, I knew Jermaine was a special person. Thanks, friend. I always appreciate these conversations. Take care.
All right, guys. You guys have a good weekend. Nice talking to you.
All right.
Main Man Collects on Instagram. All of his videos are pretty heartwarming. Let's transition. Yes. I saw Trina. Trina's around here, too. Trina's going to be joining us very soon. Trina San Augustine is going to be joining us. She's always got something great to talk to us about. I have a feeling there's a Vero Gala coming up, and I'm sure that's what we're going to be talking about when she comes into the studio. But we'll transition now.
Yes, let's do that.
Helping you move forward on this Friday afternoon. Earlier, I saw a whole lot of people. It looked like they were able to get off early, enjoy the weekend a whole lot earlier than us, and I'm still seeing that. all throughout Hagåtña, passing the ITC intersection, Airport Road down to Route 1, delays there. There really isn't any gaps. There's slow moving throughout. I would say from Hagåtña to Dededo. Small pockets where things do clear up for you, but the coast isn't clear until after the Sangsong intersection. Route 8 isn't as bad, but I mean, it does slow down again for you over at the Tri. And then Route 16 is pretty decent. Route 10 onto 4, expect major delays trying to make that left turn down to Pago Bay. So 2, maybe even 3 light changes before you can make that left turn. The same is on Route 4, trying to get through that intersection, just knowing that there's only that one lane, that far right lane that gets you through there. So that's something that you're usually used to. You experience that every time you use that route to get home in the other direction. So once again, helping you move forward is Guam Auto Spot. 478 Auto is the number. The website is guamautospot.com.
Introducing the all-new Subway Wraps. Now you can make any footlong a wrap. Light, delicious, and satisfying without weighing you down. Subway Wraps make fueling your day easier than ever with bold flavors and fresh ingredients. Try the cheesy garlic steak wrap today. Subway, eat fresh, feel good.
Need a truck that works as hard as you do? Then head to Triple J Ford's Big Deals on Big Wheels sales event. For a limited time, score prices below dealer cost and drive home America's best-selling truck for 49 years. The legendary Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Choose from the rugged XL, stylish STX, or well-equipped XLT. All backed by the strength, capability, and innovation only Ford delivers. But don't wait. All stock must go. Visit Triple J Ford in Upper Tumon or get pre-approved and shop online at triplejguam.com. Triple J Ford. Customers first.
Introducing the all-new Subway Wraps. Now you can make any footlong a wrap. Light, delicious, and satisfying without weighing you down. Subway Wraps make fueling your day easier than ever with bold flavors and fresh ingredients. Try the cheesy garlic steak wrap today. Subway, eat fresh, feel good.
Hagåtña, get ready. The all-new Cost You Less Hagåtña is celebrating its grand opening weekend, August 28th through the 30th. Join us Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for family fun, free giveaways, live entertainment, and incredible grand opening celebrations. Experience a fresh new way to shop with more savings, more value, and more what Guam families need every day. Don't miss the Cost You Less Hagåtña grand opening weekend, August 28th through the 30th. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram for details.
I'm Fred Berdaliu Jr. The future of Guam's security and prosperity will be challenged by social and economic conditions. From drug-related crimes to higher housing costs, gas prices, food prices, and decline in tourist arrivals impacting retail businesses. Our people will need leaders who are strong, visionary, disciplined, and have the best credentials to address these issues. I'm ready to get to work as your senator. I'm Fred Berdaliu Jr., and I approve this message.
Everyone has savings goals. Whatever you're saving for, Bank of Hawaii wants to help you reach your possible. That's why with our Bank Ohana 12-month CD special, you can earn 3.4% annual percentage yield with a minimum deposit of $5,000 from another bank. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So reach your savings goals with our 12-month CD special.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii. For terms and conditions, go to boh.com/CD special.
Explore, snap, and share for a chance to win a round-trip ticket to Taiwan. Join the Guam Photo Hunt and visit iconic landmarks and hidden gems island-wide. The more locations you photograph, the more chances you have to win exciting prizes. Learn more and submit to win online at visitguam.com/photo hunt. Terms and conditions apply. Explore, snap, and rediscover Guam. Brought to you by the Guam Visitors Bureau.
Half a day, I'm Callan Perez and I'm running for senator. Service to our island has shaped my life, from community advocacy and substance abuse recovery to supporting sustainable agriculture. Inspired by my parents, Dr. Perez and Dr. Erickson, I remain committed to serving the people of Guam. I'm Callan Perez and I approve this message.
Feeling good, getting things done. Wave 105 FM.
Welcome back to the show. 4:45 in the afternoon. This is the Bright Side, right here on Wave 105. Standing by the host, Mr. Pauly Suba.
All right, welcome back. We're going to go to the phone lines.
Yes.
I'm Brian Hoppaday, Wave 105. You're on the air.
Hey, good afternoon. Happy Friday.
Hey. Hoppaday, Vince.
Hi, good afternoon. The question of today, I think you've already may have asked it, but I'll ask it again. Where is Roy Kanata? We don't need to blame anybody, but we do want accountability, and I believe Roy Kanata has been paid $160,000 over the last 2 years to rebuild Simon Sanchez High School via his appointment as the Special Projects Coordinator, the governor's representative to rebuild Simon Sanchez High School. So Governor Liu gave Roy Kanata a lot of taxpayer dollars, and we're just wondering, where is Roy Kanata? Has anyone seen him?
We invited him early on when we were doing Beyond the Ballot, but unfortunately he had conflicting schedules.
I believe there was a family emergency or something like that. Yeah, to my
Well,
recollection.
there's a community emergency up in Teton, namely the abandonment of the Simon Sanchez High School and Teton High School campus because of unsafe public health conditions, and it would seem like Roy Kanata would be right on top of that, since this is why he's getting paid, apparently taxpayer money. So the question again is, where is Roy Kanata? Who is his boss, and does his boss think that this is proper behavior for a government of Guam employee? And theoretically, Pauly, you're his boss. You're a taxpayer of Guam. Is Roy Kanata, where is Roy Kanata, and what are we going to do about it?
There's a couple times when I watched the governor's YouTube channel, and he was like the MC of proclamation signings.
That's the governor's prerogative to have him be the MC of proclamations, but I thought the proclamation that she was supposed to have him, coordinate was the proclamation of Simon Sanchez High School opening back up in Jigo. Come to find out, apparently Judy Wonpat secretly had a plan not to reopen Simon Sanchez in Jigo because somebody apparently told her there's not enough kids up there to justify rebuilding Simon Sanchez, because through this whole debacle, we're hearing that the Guam board doesn't just want to shut down schools in southern Guam, they also want to shut down schools in northern Guam. I didn't know that was on the table for discussion, but Judy Wonpat is questioning whether or not the demographics of Guam justify the rebuilding of the only high school in northern Guam.
Yeah, we can't even confirm what was said or anything like that on the record, right? I mean, we talked to Dr. Judy yesterday, and then she was on with Patty this morning, and they weren't having those kind of conversations. There's a lot of, reassessing and allowing the principals and stakeholders to decide how they want to move forward. That's where we're at today. How do they want to move forward with when the school reopens? And now the goal is September 3 for the inspection to happen, and September 8 for it to open at least a decent amount of schools, around 65 classrooms to open up for them to share. And they will decide, the principals and the stakeholders like students and teachers and parents will decide, what does that look like? Will that look like double session? Will that look like staggering days? Superintendent Wompat confirmed this morning that that's how they will move forward.
So it sounds like...
And there was no discussion of Roy Kanata ever. Roy Kanata was not part of the conversation. Not even at the public hearing. He was not there at the oversight hearing. Nobody even brought up his name.
Was he there at the protest?
No. I don't think I even saw him. I mean, I wasn't at the protest.
Yeah.
I saw video footage, and I didn't see him there.
Okay, all right.
But I didn't see. I wasn't there again.
Is acknowledging that she was wrong, that they're not going to open up on August 31st. Apparently, they're not even going to have the inspection by August
September
31st.
3.
September 3. Now they're saying September 3rd. That's not August 31st. And they said next week. It doesn't sound like September 3rd is next week. So they're not opening up next week.
Right. It's the contractors that have told her that this is the timeline that we're at. And so she's letting everybody know that this is what the contractors are saying. If we can, they will be ready for an inspection September 3.
Well, here's the question: will GDOE have Labor Day off on Monday?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be great. They should have a nice Labor Day picnic down at EPOW.
That's on a
Rather
Sunday.
than maybe spending time fixing the schools, maybe all those GovGuam employees would rather do happy labor like the people off aircraft carriers and go and paint the schools, clean the schools, fix the schools. But no, they want to go down and have the last Labor Day picnic of Governor Lulian Guerrero's
Labor Day of Love. Labor of Love Day.
That sounds exciting, though. The final Labor Day of this administration, that's fun. That sounds exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It should be a great party. But meanwhile, Judy Wanpat has apologized for failing to listen to the Simon Sanchez High School community in the first place, because I think they warned her that they didn't want to go to Teedzin in the first place. And the people in Teedzin had warned that they weren't ready. But Judy Wanpat forced the overcrowding at Teedzin because she knew better. She said 100% everything was going to be ready, but apparently Public Health said, no, it's not a safe school environment, and Public Health forced the closure of two of Guam's most important high schools and allowed hundreds of island students, and they denied them an adequate education. So a lot to celebrate on Labor Day there, Governor Liu. Great. Thank you for ruining a whole generation of kids' ambitions and showing them that the government doesn't care about you, but they're willing to go barbecue down in EPOW Beach, where apparently we've run up a $40,000 water bill since the last time you were down at EPOW Beach because you left the water on. So it's a catastrophic mess, Pauly. This whole thing is ending this very difficult
and
week here
load
on
shedding
Guam.
and possibilities of load shedding, right, to add on to the cake.
And
oh, come on. No,
and getting some bonds.
Mr. Parkinson is turning off all those the data centers. They're the ones sucking up all the power, according to Mr. Parkinson. But I'm wondering, where is Roy Kanata, and why hasn't he apologized yet to the taxpayers and voters of Guam for his failure to rebuild Simon Sanchez High School? I mean, it does seem like he does at least owe the people of Guam that. And I know Ryan's his relative, so maybe he wants to defend his nephew, but how do you feel, Ryan, as a family member, as a person of Guam?
Well,
your nephew is apparently not doing a good job.
Oh, thank you for putting me on the spot, but I love my family, and
well, I mean, protests happen, right, and whatnot, and now they're resetting and they're starting from scratch, and so I don't know where Roy Kanata, former Senator Roy Kanata, is in this equation. He is running and he is on the ballot.
Did he step down from his
No,
position?
he's
still there in Adelaide.
And that's the thing. He's not just on the ballot. He's on the payroll. He got $160,000 plus.
I can't confirm that.
$88,000 a year. So actually, that's $176,000 a year. So he has more than enough money to put up big signs. Is that why he was hired by Governor Liu, so that he could have money to put up big signs up and down the road? That doesn't seem fair. That almost seems like a violation of the Mini Hatch Act.
He doesn't have the biggest, though. Parkinson has the biggest.
Oh yeah, Parkinson got the biggest.
Well, okay. Well, it's pretty easy to spot Mr. Parkinson, but I can't find Roy Kanata, and that is upsetting. So thanks for letting me vent. If you see Roy, tell him I said hello.
Okay.
And tell him we need an apology, and actually we'd like him to return the money.
Yeah.
He didn't do his job. Please give us our money back.
Thank you, sir.
We'll let him know.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
All right, you too.
You
Take
know,
care.
I mean, and in all fairness, we'll try to put out a call to Senator Roy Kanata and see where he stands on this. I think we have enough time to get in another call. He's been standing by.
Oh, yeah. Roy Kanata.
No, not Mr. Roy Kanata, but this guy's from down south, Joe Malik.
Joe Malik! Have you seen Senator Roy? Is he down there in Inalahan?
Not too good, but news today.
Oh, no.
Yeah, man.
What happened?
The waterworks charging me $2,000.
What?
I'm going to call Richard to take me.
Okay.
Monday, is that the holiday, Monday?
No, not this Monday. 2 Mondays from now.
Joe Malik, you're not the only one, because a friend of mine, actually, I met him on Tuesday, and he was telling me that
I'm going to pray for you that
his
this
water
is a typo.
bill, his water bill is $1,500.
So what about, are you aware of any water leaks on your property? Have you noticed?
I don't think so. The problem is I spend most of my time at the asset. When I open up the waterworks bill,
Yeah.
$2,000.
Wow.
And I say, oh my God, what's going on?
What is average water bill? $40, $50?
Below $100.
Oh, 100.
I'm the
Okay.
only one at
Well, that's
the house.
Often a
The
close in
house.
pool.
That's clearly not anywhere near $2,000 though.
Oh man. I don't have a business. I'm not running a business.
Your cows aren't swimming in the pool.
I hope everything works out for you, Senor. We're gonna be praying for you. I hope it's a typo.
When I got back from the rest, and I opened the stuff up, I almost had a heart attack.
Stroke, no. Close in
$2,000. What happened to my tax?
Hey, Senor, I have our friend Trina San Augustine that's in the studio with me. You can stay on the line and talk with her.
I heard you saying
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So,
call back.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, next week.
Okay. Have a great weekend.
I'm busy.
I know.
Guess what
I
I'm
am.
doing at the bounce house.
Okay. Yeah.
Shut off your water.
I'm shutting my water off and not going home either. Yeah. No more. Okay, Senor.
Yes,
let's do this. KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam. Let's just take this break early.
Yes,
We don't need to do the AP news.
Oh, we can still do it.
You sure?
Yeah.
I want to get to Trina sooner than later, though, because she's busy. And traffic is
I
insane
have to put
right
up
now.
my radio sister. Once it's in the blood, it's in the blood.
Okay. So let's just take this break. We'll take it early, and then we'll be right back right here on Wave 105 KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam.
KGUM FM, Dededo, the talk of Guam. This is Wave 105.1 FM, a Glimpses Media radio station.
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup or delivery. Online ordering at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Good to Go. We deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Need a truck that works as hard as you do? Then head to Triple J Ford's Big Deals on Big Wheels sales event. For a limited time, score prices below dealer cost and drive home America's best-selling truck for 49 years. The legendary Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Choose from the rugged XL, stylish STX, or well-equipped XLT. All backed by the strength, capability, and innovation only Ford delivers. But don't wait. All stock must go. Visit Triple J Ford in Upper Tumon or get pre-approved and shop online at triplejguam.com. Triple J Ford, customers first.
Half a day. I'm Clint Rigel, and I'm running for senator. If you're looking for proven, effective leadership, vote for me, and let's grow Guam together. I'm Clint Rigel, and I approve this message.
Slowly approaching the 5 o'clock hour. Our first look for the 5 o'clock hour traffic. Helping you move forward along with Guam Auto Spot, standing by with the very latest on your daily commute. Mr. Pauly Suba, buenas.
All right, I'm trying to keep my nose out of Trina's angle.
I'll try to fix it.
Okay. If you know, you know. Nobody's looking at it right now until Ryan switches angles here, and then it's going to be an awkward angle for everybody else looking at our YouTube. It's pretty awkward out there on the roadways. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It's not really good news. I mean, we know this, right? Payday Friday is what Trina was sharing with me, and so with that comes heavy congestion all along Marine Corps Drive, Route 4 as well as you get through Pago or get towards Pago Bay.
Everybody's converging.
Yeah,
right
Route
now.
10.
Everybody's converging down to
over
Agana
to
Shopping
4.
Center.
That's right. Ooh, the Koshiles.
The Koshiles grand opening.
You're going to get in trouble because they're not even sponsors of this right now, and you just said their name.
Sorry.
We got to, again, show love to Guam Auto Spot.
Of course.
Yes,
we
Guam
love them.
Auto Spot is the one taking care of business right now. And as you pass Guam Auto Spot in the after the Chief Kapoor Park, there are some delays heading northbound coming from the opposite direction. It's not as bad, but of course that intersection there that gets you either to Route 4 or even Route 8 is going to slow you down. Route 8 is the best way to continue north. I would even say if you usually are on one, Route 8 is pretty decent for you. I think you're going to get up towards Route 16 and back onto Harmon Loop a whole lot faster. And so that's just some advice, but don't hold me to it, because if you do get stuck somewhere in the Harmon Loop area, it's Ryan's fault.
Of course.
478 Auto is the number. That's Guam Auto Spot, and the website is guamautospot.com.
Hagåtña, get ready. The all-new Cost You Less Hagåtña is celebrating its grand opening weekend, August 28th through the 30th. Join us Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for family fun, free giveaways, live entertainment, and incredible grand opening celebrations. Experience a fresh new way to shop with more savings, more value, and more what Guam families need every day. Don't miss the Cost You Less Hagåtña grand opening weekend, August 28th through the 30th. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram for details.
Everyone has savings goals. Whatever you're saving for, Bank of Hawaii wants to help you reach your possible. That's why with our Bank Ohana 12-month CD special, you can earn 3.4% annual percentage yield with a minimum deposit of $5,000 from another bank. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So reach your savings goals with our 12-month CD special.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii. For terms and conditions, go to boh.com/CD special.
Half a day, I'm Callan Perez and I'm running for senator. Service to our island has shaped my life, from community advocacy and substance abuse recovery to supporting sustainable agriculture. Inspired by my parents, Dr. Perez and Dr. Erickson, I remain committed to serving the people of Guam. I'm Callan Perez and I approve this message.
With decades experience in Guam and the region, Take Care members have access to the largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs. Membership also includes the high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers and the one-stop FHB Health Center and urgent care. Ask for Take Care. Call 671-647-3526. Go to takecareasia.com for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Want to learn more about Guam's charter schools and what makes them unique? Tune in to Charter School Hour every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on Wave 105. Hear directly from Guam's charter schools about their students, programs, success stories, and the different approaches they're bringing to education. That's the Charter School Hour, presented by the Guam Charter School Alliance. Every Friday, 1 to 2 p.m., only on Wave 105. Listen, learn, share.
I'm Fred Berdalio Jr. The future of Guam's security and prosperity will be challenged by social and economic conditions. From drug-related crimes to higher housing costs, gas prices, food prices, and decline in tourist arrivals impacting retail businesses. Our people will need leaders who are strong, visionary, disciplined, and have the best credentials to address these issues. I'm ready to get to work as your senator. I'm Fred Berdalio Jr., and I approve this message.
Ever dreamed of being on the radio? Now's your chance. Glimpses of Guam is looking for the next generation of on-air personalities to join our family on Wave 105. If you've got personality, creativity, and a passion for entertaining, we want to hear from you. No matter your experience level, this could be your opportunity to be heard across the airwaves. Send your resume and a short demo to jobs@glimpsesofguam.com and start your broadcasting journey today. Join the Glimpses of Guam radio team. Your voice belongs on the air on Wave 105.
From Jigo to Malesso, if Guam's talking about it, you'll hear it on Wave 105.
Welcome back to the show, 5:03 in the afternoon. We are KGUM FM, Dedido Guam. Thank you for tuning in. This is the BrightSide right here on Wave 105. Standing by, Mr. Pauly Suba.
We do want to thank our sponsors, and that's Chili's Grill and Bar. Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. Micropack, don't miss a memory. Get your travel cameras and storage essentials at Micropack today. Subway, you got to refresh to be fresh. Triple J, it's big deals on big wheels at Triple J Ford. Save thousands off retail. Drive home a new Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Visit Triple J Ford today. Customers first. And GTA, we start with you, Biba Betness.
Biba.
And so we have our friend Trina Augustine that's in studio. She is the executive director of Vero and the chairwoman. The president.
Aside from he gave me someone's job.
One of those is correct, right?
No, I'm the president.
None of them? Okay.
The board of directors and the victims advocate reaching out.
Before all of that title naming.
Let's not go back to 1997 now.
No, we're going to go back to 1997. Trina Messina. There we go. Former radio girl.
Off a day, Ryan.
Off a day. Good seeing you.
Honestly, Trina, you're one of my favorite mentors.
What?
Yeah.
What did you call me?
I've all mentors.
Okay.
Along with that comes the age, right?
Well, because you taught me that this job is supposed to be fun,
Yeah.
right? And if you're not having fun, then you go work at GCC.
Yes, exactly.
Or become a president of Vero or something.
I become a president of Vero.
Hey, I became part of the Lions crew. Okay, I got my
wow.
Lions crew. So yeah,
Look at you. You have a vest and
I
everything.
got it all.
Wow. Pictures or it didn't happen.
We got the gala coming up in October. Time is flying by.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Next week is the Burr months, dude.
Yes.
Manila's gonna start putting up decorations already.
I told Ryan, bring on the music, bring on the Christmas.
And I got it all.
Not too early, man.
I'm ready.
You know it's early. Did Home Depot put out the Halloween stuff already?
I haven't. They're behind.
Okay, good.
They're behind
Let's slow
because
it
I
down
was
this
there
year.
last weekend. And
That's how
they
you
didn't have
normally
it.
can tell if something's coming up because like right after Halloween, it's automatic. Christmas is coming up right after Christmas.
Right.
Valentine's already.
Yes.
Yes.
Ross already has their Halloween stuff out.
They do. I saw that. And then there's Starbucks who already has the
Oh yes, pumpkin spice.
Yes.
Beverages.
Yeah. Actually, Infusion, somebody brought me, and it's already their pumpkin crunch.
Well, what
They brought you their trash.
They brought you the trash.
Oh, you ate it already.
This is the after
Minus
effect.
the fork. There was no fork needed.
He scarfed that whole thing
He's like,
down.
what fork?
It's like, man, I miss lunch.
But you're here, right? Because, again, remind us all. I don't think you need to remind us. I think our audience knows the importance of Vero and what you do for this community, right?
Yes. So it's sad that we exist at the same time that it's a blessing that we exist.
Sure.
Because to exist means that there's a problem on this island, a problem of domestic violence, dating violence, adult violence, and senior violence. When I say seniors, there's some Manumcos that come in and call us and then come in and we house them and protect them from their abusers. So it's sad that we exist, but at the same time, again, it's a double-edged sword, right?
Sure,
You know?
yeah. And so a lot of efforts go into what you do throughout the year. And one of those big efforts are the gala.
Yes, our Vero Purple Gala.
Right.
It started 5 years ago.
Okay.
I created this thing in hope to be one of our signature events, and it turned out to be one of our biggest fundraising events. This year, it's going to be on October 10th.
Okay.
At the Leo Palace Ballroom.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, we chose the wonderful hills
Yes.
of that's Menangan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the wonderful hills of
Yeah,
Menangan.
now I'm even
yeah, you're thinking about it, right?
questioning myself, too.
I'm like, Menangan, where's Menangan?
Yes, I will agree with you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. And it's from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tickets are $150, and a table of 10 gets you. It's $1,200 for a table of 10.
Okay.
So that drops the price for you and your 9 friends to pay only $120 instead of $150. So if you know 9 people that are willing to go and fork over the $120, then you got that table of 10 for you guys.
Obviously, it's for a good cause, but what do you have in store?
For the gala,
Have you already put the program together or not yet?
I'm not on the gala committee this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so my gala chairperson is Miss Brianna Duenas.
Okay.
She's our training chairperson on the board. And then our co-chair, you might know her, is Miss Tina Estevez.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so
Yeah.
those two are a powerhouse together.
Yes.
And they're putting together a great lineup for the
Okay.
night. And food, of course. And then Ed Suarez is
Gonna host?
Other half,
Oh, okay.
DJ Lizea, for
Lizea.
the past 3 years,
Okay.
has donated her DJing services for us for the past 3 years.
That's
So
right.
this is her third year doing it for us.
That's right.
And we're excited about that, and we just truly appreciate her, as well as the other individuals and corporations, private Guam,
Yeah.
that come out and step up to the plate and take a bat for Varo and just open their pockets,
Right.
and give us their money to not just put the Varo Gala together, but to support our victims and our staff and our advocate to keep this hotline going and to keep our services of housing these people who are at their most vulnerable, in these events, to take care of them and their families and the individuals involved.
And so, I mean, there's much to look forward to, right? And so you'll share even like the themes and whatnot.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hear the theme?
Oh, you have it already.
Yes, it's
Okay.
right here. Thanks to ChatGPT. This year's theme is Bloom in Hope, right? So the theme represents bloom
Okay.
in hope.
Okay, I was worried because
Not
I almost
bloomin'
thought you were.
onion.
No, I thought you were saying
It's not a
Blue Men.
bloomin'.
I'm like, Blue Men? That Las Vegas show?
No, you thought Bloomin' Vegas. I was thinking like Bloomin' Outback onion or something. No, so it's Bloom in Hope.
Okay.
Okay, and
got
the
it.
theme represents the survivors, their family, and those impacted by domestic violence or just violence. And
Right.
it's a symbolism of them rebuilding and blooming into a new
Okay.
outlook on life.
I'm envisioning a
minus
whole lot
the
of like
violence.
flowers, purple flowers
Very
everywhere.
pretty flowers.
Yes.
A whole sea of flowers.
Okay.
And that's the theme. If you want to come dressed in floral, you want to wear a floral hat with a floral shirt, then do that, If not, you come in your best Sunday's best to formal and dress up and
Right.
just do that.
And so you have Vero platforms and whatnot, right, on social media that we
Absolutely.
can get more information and begin purchasing tickets, or not quite yet?
Yes, you
Yes,
can.
okay.
Tickets are available. Again, it's $150 per
Right.
individual, and a table of 10 for $1,200 brings it down to $120 per individual
Right.
if you get the table of 10. And to do that, you can go on to varoguam.org/donation.
Okay.
It'll take you. That's a link to our payment platform.
Yeah.
And then you just enter your number and how many tickets you want. You do the math. We trust your math. So go ahead and do that, and we'll just secure your tickets.
All right.
We'll have your name and your contact information, and we'll reach out to you to meet up and get the tickets in
Is
your
this
hands.
Saturday? October 10th? What
Yes,
day is that?
it's a Saturday. Varo always hosts since I started it.
Yeah.
It's always been the second Saturday of October every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
So those listening to that, just think every year, second Saturday of October, that's what you're doing. You're supporting Varo. Thank
For
you.
sure. Yeah. You have a small team, right?
Very,
Yeah.
very small. We have I just confirmed today, because one of the senators wanted to write us a resolution, so I had to prepare all that, right?
Great.
So we have about 30 volunteers, active volunteers right
Okay.
now. And we are going through our advocate training, which will be graduating them tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's people from Tolgi, there's people from West Care, there's Ali Shelter, and there's other organizations, as well as individuals that really literally want to give their time to Varo and the victims and the people that we deal with. So
Okay.
they're all being trained right now. They have been for the past 4 Fridays, and it all ends tomorrow.
Wow.
And they start shadowing the hotline.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so how do you find these individuals?
We just put a call out
Yeah?
on our social media, and you can find us
Man.
at Varo Guam.
Volunteerism is one of the
Man.
best traits, right?
Yeah, and one thing that gets us is this year, the fact that we're looking for more volunteers to help support our staff. Right? We got 2 interns that want to do. One wants to do their grad degree internship with us at Varo from UOG. Then we have an undergrad from UOG, and then we have an associate's. That a GCC student wants to come in and do their internship with us.
Wow.
But we have to sit them down and
Sure.
tell them that, this isn't light work.
Sure.
You're not fundraising for
Right.
fundraising. You're fundraising for a reason.
Sure.
And a reason to house people and gas up the car so that the advocate can go there at 3:00 in the morning, leave their family, not knowing what they're walking into, and assist the person, pick
Right.
them up and their family and take them to the shelter.
Why
and
is
keep
it
them in the shelter?
Why is it important to go through this training?
Because it's very real. It's very, very. It's like being a 911 operator. when you answer the phone line. I don't have access to the hotline. I'm not trained because of my past.
Sure.
Right. So I can't. I'm not ready for that. When I am, I will be. Right. So but till then, I just hear the stories that as soon as they say Hafaday Varo hotline, are you okay? Right. Kind of thing.
Right.
Sometimes they'll just automatically hear screaming. Or sometimes they'll be like, oh, this is GPD, Domestic Assault Response Team. We have so-and-so here.
Right.
Please come here and help us do the
Sure.
intake on this person.
Sure.
You know, sometimes it's a rape victim. Sometimes it's a child who just experienced an abuse. Sometimes it's someone's grandma or grandpa that was just abused. So it's very tough work. And tomorrow is going to be the actual role play. So they're going to have to role play. You're going to be pretending to be on the phone while our executive director and our training chairperson are screaming and creating the whole scene of a phone call of an individual that actually needs help.
Wow.
So you can imagine. And that's why every time we start the training, we're like, you got to remember self-care in this training. If something is too much for you, you are more than welcome to step outside, take a breath of fresh air, chill, and then come back when you're ready.
This is important stuff.
It's very important.
And this is a way to support Varo with the gala that's coming up on October 10th, right? And so we have some time to continue to spread the word and purchase tickets and show up at Leo Palace in our best floral gear,
Best
right?
Floral gear. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is important because what you are just describing is saves lives.
It does. And before we have a rule at Varo, we have to think of our advocates first. We also want to protect the victim and the families affected. But without the advocate, who's going to protect them? So we need to put their safety first and foremost.
Right.
So we recommend that if you are in a safe place, and when I say safe place, like at the neighbor's house, or your abuser left to work, or went to the store, or went someplace, and you're home alone, that's the best time to call us, when you know they're going to be away for a while. That is safe. The person that will answer your phone call is a trained advocate. He or she will guide you through the process on how to safely get out and when's the safe time to get out. If you find yourself in a position where you can call, but he's banging on the door or she's banging on the door trying to get at you to hurt you physically, that's a 911 call. Differentiate that. 911, I need help right now. When he did something the night before and he apologizes deeply about it, and then he says, okay, I'm really sorry, let's go to bed. He goes to work the next morning, and when he's at work, that's when you can call him if you want to get out, And we can only lead a horse to water, right? There are some times, and there's a story I shared a couple years ago at the gala about a person that I knew personally. She's still around, and she left him 7 times, and they're back together again after months of being apart. So statistics say that it takes about 8 times for a victim to leave their abuser. So she's still out there and she's still with him, and she's going on number 8 if she leaves him. So we're hoping for that she doesn't get hurt, but I just hope that she realizes.
You're a good friend.
We can't push them,
Right.
And that's why that's a rule of thumb too, is if your sister is being abused by your nyao, right? You can't call for your sister. Your sister has to make the call because she has to be ready to leave. We can't say, "Oh, I got a call from your brother and he wants us to come pick you up." You can't do that. The victim has to be willing to leave.
And when you do briefly, right? Because for those that are listening, when they do, everything is extremely discreet, right? I mean, you're
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. There's been a couple of incidences where some friends say, "Varo's great. I'm in shelter right now," and then I'm like, "Don't tell me, because I'm not supposed to know. I'm on the board. I'm an active volunteer.
Right.
I'm not an advocate. Don't tell me."
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
tell me. I don't need to know where you are because we have several locations.
Right.
And it's to help keep our advocates and staff and most of all the victims safe.
Do you need identification to be housed?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay. So
Yes.
just for our audience to know,
Yes.
when you make the call, please have like identification.
Yes. And
ready.
the advocates will tell you what to gather.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because then if it escalates, right?
Right.
If it escalates from housing to, okay, I need a restraining order from this person.
Right.
You're going to need documents for that.
Okay.
And the documents of the individuals that are your dependents.
Right.
You're going to need that too because they're going to fall under that TRO.
And that's why it's important for that training.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Trina. I really appreciate the opportunity and to be able to spread the word of your Vero Gala Bloom in Hope.
Not bloomin'.
Not bloomin' and not bloomin' onion.
Yeah.
Bloom in Hope.
Yes, absolutely.
Vero Gala 4th? 5th?
This is our 5th annual.
5th annual.
Yes, and we're celebrating our 44th anniversary of existence.
All right.
And next year's going to be a big gala.
Okay.
A bigger gala because it's our 45th
45th
anniversary.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. Now
Did
you
I
have
give you
to
the hotline number?
give it to me, please.
671-477-5552.
5552. I'm gonna
That
forget it
is a
unless it's
24/7 365 number.
Okay.
671-477-5552. Again, if you're a victim and you need help and you are not in a safe place, do not call. You need help immediately, you call 911. 911's domestic assault response team will contact us to help you. If you are in a safe space without your abuser and your abuser's not there, go ahead and give us a call, 671-477-5552. And if you want to purchase tickets, go ahead and do so at veroguam.org/donation.
Thank you for
Takes
that.
you to our payment link.
All right.
Yeah. Tickets are $150. We're looking for sponsors/supporters to buy tables and help us sell out so we can use this money. And the money raised will go to help our client services and to help us
Absolutely.
continue existing
There you go.
for another 44 years.
I hope less because then we've
Right? Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
great?
Right.
That would be great.
We're gonna take this break.
You're going to send me out in traffic now?
Oh, do you want to hang out? I mean, you were over at Power 98 hella long. Do you want to just stay?
Dude,
What do
I'm
you want to
hungry.
do? I'll let you go then.
I don't want to.
I'll let you
I don't
go.
want to break out hangry Trina.
The sooner you leave, the sooner you'll get fed. So.
Yes.
Start talking
Yeah.
about all the crap
Right.
with the government
Oh.
of Guam.
Yeah.
No, I signed leave. I'm here on leave.
Well, you've left that realm, so I don't want to bring you back
Yeah,
in.
man.
You know.
God,
Yeah.
I was there since 8, man.
All right. We got to help Trina navigate her way out of this building
Yes.
after
Yes,
hours.
please.
So we'll take this break.
Do
Ryan,
we
if
get like a free case of Coke or something?
we might be able to
Can we
stumble
just
upon.
accidentally
we
walk
might
into the
accidentally
warehouse?
Stumble upon
I need a
couple
refill on my Coke
cases.
Zero, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dark down there. Why did they turn off the lights?
So Trina doesn't find all the Coke Zero.
Oh, jeez. What a disappointment. Man, Marcus.
You should have came at 3.
I know.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
All
Well, we
right.
got to take this break. We'll be right back. This is Wave 105.
Feeling good, getting things done. Wave 105 FM.
Need a truck that works as hard as you do? Then head to Triple J Ford's Big Deals on Big Wheels sales event. For a limited time, score prices below dealer cost and drive home America's best-selling truck for 49 years. The legendary Ford F-150 starting at just $39,995. Choose from the rugged XL, stylish STX, or well-equipped XLT. All backed by the strength, capability, and innovation only Ford delivers. But don't wait. All stock must go. Visit Triple J Ford in Upper Tumont or get pre-approved and shop online at triplejguam.com. Triple J Ford, customers first.
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup or delivery. Online ordering at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Good to Go. We deliver. At Subway, we gotta refresh to be fresh.
All right. A little bit early on the traffic, but we're going to do it anyway. Of course, moving you forward, proudly being brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. And so let me check it out here. Looking at the handy dandy Wave 105 traffic app. Just got to refresh it, so bear with me. Here we go. All right, if you are at the intersection in Barragata, coming off Route 10, trying to get into Route 8 or Route 16, you're going to feel some slow-going traffic there. Traffic is backed up. I see nothing but red lines. Now, if you're on Route 8 trying to get onto Route 10 or continue on to Route 16, you're going to feel some slow-going traffic there as well. Traffic is backed up. All right, let me see. Let's go to Route 10A, and that is the airport road right in front of the village of Donkey, that intersection right there. If you're turning in from Route 1 going to the airport, major traffic delay over there. If you're coming off from Route 10A, trying to get onto Route 1, yeah, you're going to feel some slow-going traffic there. Likewise, going up northbound and southbound on that same intersection at the village of Donkey, you're going to feel some slow-going traffic there. All right, let me see. Where can I go? Okay, let's go to the ITC intersection. I'm going to where all the places are at where traffic is pretty bad. And if you're at the route, if you're on Route 1 at the ITC intersection, traffic is almost to a standstill, pretty much. I see nothing but a long red line past Megabyte. Yeah. And it's going all the way up to the intersection on Route 1 at the ITC intersection. And then if you're coming off Route 14, that is Chalon San Antonio, trying to get onto Route 1, both north and southbound. So if you're on Route 14, slow-going traffic there, massive buildup, and then also southbound on that same intersection. And that was a look at traffic, moving you forward along with Guam Auto Spot. Don't forget, you can check them out on their website at guamautospot.com. Set up a test drive, check out their inventory, give them a call, 671-478-AUTO. All right, we're going to take a short little break. When we come back, more on the 5 o'clock hour here on Wave 105.
Everyone has savings goals. Whatever you're saving for, Bank of Hawaii wants to help you reach your possible. That's why with our Bank Ohana 12-month CD special, you can earn 3.4% annual percentage yield with a minimum deposit of $5,000 from another bank. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So reach your savings goals with our 12-month CD special.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii. For terms and conditions, go to boh.com/CD special.
I'm Fred Berdalio Jr. The future of Guam's security and prosperity will be challenged by social and economic conditions. From drug-related crimes to higher housing costs, gas prices, food prices, and decline in tourist arrivals impacting retail businesses. Our people will need leaders who are strong, visionary, disciplined, and have the best credentials to address these issues. I'm ready to get to work as your senator. I'm Fred Berdalio Jr., and I approve this message.
Half a day, Aganya. The afternoon slump is real. Why wait? Head over to Aganya Shopping Center and cool down with refreshing boba from Cha Time or a sweet shaved ice from Snowberry. Craving something warm and fresh? Follow your nose to the aroma of Cinnabon or a classic bite from Pretzel Maker. And before you head home, stop by SM Island to load up on your favorite sweet and savory snacks for the weekend. With endless parking and a gazillion choices, your perfect afternoon escape is right here at Aganya Shopping Center.
Explore, snap, and share for a chance to win a round-trip ticket to Taiwan. Join the Guam photo hunt and visit iconic landmarks and hidden gems island-wide. The more locations you photograph, the more chances you have to win exciting prizes. Learn more and submit to win online at visitguam.com/photo hunt. Terms and conditions apply. Explore, snap, and rediscover Guam. Brought to you by the Guam Visitors Bureau.
Half a day. I'm Clint Rigel, and I'm running for senator. If you're looking for proven, effective leadership, vote for me, and let's grow Guam together. I'm Clint Rigel, and I approve this message.
With decades experience in Guam and the region, Take Care members have access to the largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs. Membership also includes the high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers and the one-stop FHP Health Center and Urgent Care. Ask for Take Care. Call 671-647-3526. Go to takecareagent.com for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Want to learn more about Guam's charter schools and what makes them unique? Tune in to Charter School Hour every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on Wave 105. Hear directly from Guam's charter schools about their students, programs, success stories, and the different approaches they're bringing to education. That's the Charter School Hour, presented by the Guam Charter School Alliance. Every Friday, 1 to 2 p.m., only on Wave 105. Listen, learn, share.
Half a day, I'm Callan Perez and I'm running for senator. Service to our island has shaped my life, from community advocacy and substance abuse recovery to supporting sustainable agriculture. Inspired by my parents, Dr. Perez and Dr. Erickson, I remain committed to serving the people of Guam. I'm Callan Perez and I approve this message.
Feeling good, getting things done. Wave 105 FM.
Have a holy jolly Christmas, it's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of
I'm
cheer.
sorry. We got 3 more days till the Burr months. I'm just jumping into it right now, Pauly.
And you're not going to apologize for it either.
I'm not going to apologize. Not at all. I've been listening to Christmas music since June.
I believe you.
You know, it makes you just feel good, despite everything we're going through.
What we haven't done is good news for a change.
Oh, a great segue.
So let's do it, right? We do want to thank Provisions Wine and Cheese. They serve fresh salads, delicious sandwiches, and authentic Roman-style pizza. And for today's good news, have you ever heard of a guy by the name of Anthony Akers?
Anthony Akers, never heard of him.
So back in 2018, Anthony Akers became an unexpected internet sensation.
Okay.
After the Richland Police Department featured him in a Wanted Wednesday post. So they did this on their own Facebook. You know how like A.G. Moylan has his own billboards?
Yeah.
Right? This Richland Police Department, they do something on their social media on Wednesday called Wanted Wednesday.
Okay.
And so they posted that they are looking for this individual. Right? But instead of hiding, he showed up in the comments.
Wow.
And he said, calm down, I'm going to turn myself in. And so it got people's attention that follow this, and then it started to trend like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
And more people started to follow this police department's Facebook. And so what ended up happening was this back and forth between Akers and the police department on Facebook.
He's having his day in court on Facebook?
Yeah, he said, I'm just, I have a few loose ends to tie up, and then I'll surrender, basically, right?
Oh, gosh.
And so he did keep his word, though. So it's pretty interesting, right?
I can imagine. It's almost like getting pulled over.
So this is the original. This is the original. If you're on our YouTube, I'm going to put my phone up to the screen here.
Okay.
Wanted Wednesday. Anthony Akers, 38, is wanted by the Department of Corrections for failure to comply. If you have any information, please call. And then they put the phone number.
Oh, God.
So that's what they post
He looks
on
like
their
an Anthony
Facebook.
Akers.
And then, so it says, calm down. And then he replies to that post and he says, calm down. I'm going to turn myself in. Keep in mind, this is in 2018. And then Richland, Washington Police Department responds to him saying, calm down. I'm going to turn myself in with 1.1 thousand likes. And Richland says, hey, Anthony, we haven't seen you yet. Our business hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Of course, if you need a ride, you can call non-emergency, and we will pick you up.
Oh, gosh.
Anthony Akers responds. He goes, thank you. Tying up a couple loose ends since I will probably be in there for a month. Should be there in the next 48 hours. 226 likes and emojis to that comment. This guy goes, Dylan Olson responds, and he goes, has he turned himself in yet? And Richland responds to Dylan saying he has not.
Anybody seen him?
Yeah. So Richland police The following Monday says, Dear Anthony, is it us? Last Wednesday, we reached out to you as wanted. You replied and even said you were going to turn yourself in. We waited, but you didn't show. After you stood us up, we reached out again. This time,
it's not you, it's me.
offering you a ride. You replied and said you needed 48 hours. The weekend came and went. We are beginning to think you are not coming.
Dude, you're standing him up, bro.
Anthony Akers responds back. He says, Dear RPD, it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, that's what he said?
He says,
Oh, jeez.
I obviously have commitment issues.
I sound like Anthony Akers.
I apologize for standing you up, but let me make it up to you. I will be there no later than lunchtime tomorrow. I know you have no reason to believe me after what I did to you, but I promise that if I don't make it on my own by lunchtime tomorrow, I will call for a ride to assist me with my commitment issues. Thank you in advance to your response. If you are patiently giving me another chance with us, I know I don't deserve it. P.S. You're beautiful. 2.5 thousand likes to that comment.
Wait, hold on for a second. Because I'm thinking, like, this is a toxic relationship already.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, it very much is a toxic relationship. They're trying to put him in jail. So here's the thing. He shows up. Anthony Akers responds saying, here for our date, sweetheart.
Oh, gosh.
And posts a picture of himself
Did
as he's going into the police department.
Did the police department even give him, like, a bouquet of flowers or something?
I don't know. And then there's his mug shot of him showing up finally.
Finally.
Right? But
Yeah.
here's the thing. So that was back in 2018, right?
Mhm.
It has a meaningful story.
Okay, what's the meaningful
He's
story?
a Navy veteran that successfully graduated from Veterans Court after overcoming a serious addiction.
Okay.
When people who remembered his viral Wanted Wednesday moment discovered how far he had come, they flooded him with messages of encouragement and support while he was in jail.
Nice.
And so what started as a hilarious internet moment eventually became a story about recovery, second chances, and turning your life around. And sometimes the person behind a viral post is still writing their story long after the internet has moved on.
Very nice story.
Very, very good news, right? Again, we do want to thank Provisions. They're open Monday through Saturday, so they're open tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call Provisions at 671-633-9463.
And we
Place
don't
your order today.
We don't encourage anybody to do what Mr. Akers did. Turn yourself in. Don't.
I mean, he did eventually turn himself in.
Yeah, but don't take too much time.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm thinking, like, you ever see those videos on YouTube, right? When a cop pulls over somebody, and
that's resisting arrest.
No, and they don't want to roll down their window, and they want to talk out and everything, and they're trying to control the situation. And the cop's like, "That's not how it goes. You're not controlling this situation here. I am. Let me have your registration and your license."
And sometimes they're probably gonna, again, well, I don't want to say sometimes, but what happens, at least with my dad when he was saying, there are times where we're just gonna let you go with a warning, but you decided that you wanted to make it an issue.
Did I ever tell you about your dad and when he pulled me over?
He gave you a warning, right?
No, well, yeah.
No, he didn't?
No, he did give me a warning, but then he kind of like made me feel stupid.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, so I ran a yellow light, and he was like, I pulled you over. I'm like, I don't. It's like, because you ran a red light. I'm like, no, I ran a yellow light. It was like, well, that's a clear indicator that it's going to turn red. I'm like, thank you, sir. But I think I could fight this in court. Yeah, but he let me go. So that was good.
Did you watch it, Disclosure Day?
Disclosure Day?
Yeah.
I was able to finally watch it.
Okay,
No,
in
you
Disclosure
can get
Day,
it on. Actually, I can give it to you. I have a copy.
The 9 or 10th year old girl, when she got abducted, she was giving cosmic consciousness
Okay.
or Christ consciousness. And then what that is when Pauly's dad comes over, you look up at him and you tell him about, yeah, Pauly's doing okay. You know, I was just left him. Your wife is kind of thinking about you right now. You should probably get over to her. And I know you got things you got to do down at the precinct. And then their jaws dropped, and then you draw away. She had that ability to go into anybody's mind and know the names of their families and the kids and what was going on at that time. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you practice that too.
Yeah.
Right?
You
You look at somebody and
their name.
her
is like,
name.
yeah, is, and whatever
Right.
comes into your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's but in Disclosure Day, the two things, one of them is this cosmic consciousness. So she could walk right through a crowd and identify the people who are walking around her and who their families are. Right? That's what she was given. That was the gift the aliens gave her. And she was an anchor on a television station. And then the boy was giving the laws of the universe. And the laws of the universe is math. So he became this tremendous mathematician, and he was working in a place that was archiving all the alien activities with humans, and he saw a torture. And when he saw the torture, he gave it up. And that's when he said he was going to disclose, right?
Yeah.
That was the turning point.
I love your cover. We are matching today.
As we should, you know.
Right?
Yeah, I called your
We're
mom,
matching.
you know, and your dad said, you know, that you were, that's what you all had on. so,
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We look good.
Well, yeah, okay.
I'm
You know,
I'm looking at us on YouTube and
Yeah.
I'm like, we are some handsome guys.
Well, then, you know, listen in, folks. Send donations to Ryan for governor, right? Or
I
yeah.
need it.
Yeah, send some donations. Yeah, no, that's the true meaning of the word, right? Yeah, and so you know, this Tejan thing is interesting, right? As to what and how schools. I mean, there's so many few students here that are here on the island now that it's like maybe the thought is we don't really need Simon Sanchez as a school, which is just floating. You know, that's nobody's saying anything about it. It's just
Nobody's saying that on record, but
No.
there is chatter.
Well, to that thought about how many students we actually have here. But I tell you, man, who is it? It's Angel, right? Sablon. What was it? He was saying that he wanted the military to
Yes.
have our kids go to the schools.
Camp Laws.
Yeah. So this is exactly what we should do, folks. No disrespect. I was in the military. I was in the Air Force. I also am a captain in the Maritime licensed. And in all of that, you know, what you can only think of where you find your greatest self, about where you're free of any anxieties, you're free of any worries, you're free of any type of negative thought. It just doesn't come into you. And if it comes into you, then you do your mantra, your love, 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 your guaja, 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 mahal, 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 tong, 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 wherever your language is for the word love. And that seems to be, you know, where people, you direct that like toward the whole school system. You see all the schools and where everybody is. And like what Dr. Wampat said, you know, she feels closer to get to the folks. She feels she apologized. This is something that she feels is important. So in that realm, you realize that Sagin Denanya, right? Sagin and coming together to really look at what's the best thing. Because I tell you, I mean, right off the bat, you know, in the fifth dimensional thought or thinking, you know, and having all the knowledge of the universe, why don't we do what Finland does? Finland's number one, or the Swedish schools are number one in the world. Why don't we do what number one does? Period. Why should we do anything else? You know, and then have all our branches of all our other cultural activities that go on around that. But when you
Remind
see the
us what
success,
Finland does?
there's
The
no
chores?
homework.
Yeah,
you don't take
chores,
any
right?
tests after 18. Your the meals. You only go to school for 4 hours, and there's a very open, you know, areas of exploration within their educational system. And they're number one in math, they're number one in reading, they're number one in science, is what they're exposing this technique, right? And so for us to do anything less than that, I don't know. I mean, why don't we follow whatever the best does and just model ourselves on that? Accreditation-wise, they're moving into a new accreditation. But all of these things are all fifth-dimensional thoughts. Like, where'd you get that idea? Oh, I woke up, I had it in a dream, or, it just kind of hit me. I mean, you just think about how we see the apple hit Isaac Newton on the head and all these. He goes, what? 14.7 pounds per square inch. Let me measure this guy. Right? I mean, that's so fifth-dimensional thought. To be able to think that you're not in that space all the time,
right?
You're just being silly. But that's where we got over 37,000 hits on our.
That's great.
Yeah, Brian's
yes.
creation. My golly. And then we did the one on Catholicism. Did you see that one?
No.
Yeah.
Where do you find that? Also on YouTube?
Wave 105.
Oh, you aired it there too?
Oh yeah,
last Friday.
We put it on Instagram.
Sweet.
We put it on TikTok. It's on Facebook. Let's see, YouTube under I think Edge of Heaven, and it's Edge of Heaven. Wave 105 or it should be coming up, right?
YouTube.
But, yeah, we got it on YouTube. That's where we got the hits.
I saw
37,000.
I saw it on Wave, but you did another.
Yeah,
episode?
we did one on Catholicism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's what we want to do is what we talk about here on the radio, Wave 105. We want to solidify that with Catholicism. It's
That's good.
Yeah, it's a Facebook page. But it's in it's something that Brian put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the one where you were up in the mountains.
Yeah, up in Lam Lam.
Yes.
Yeah, we figured we'd go to the highest place on the planet
right.
to talk about this. And that opportunity is definitely Mount Lam Lam.
Yeah.
Hawaii claims it, but
yes.
we're geographically we're in one mountain range there. That was a multi-mountain range. I think
you
they're
include the 7 miles down.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's the key to the ball game, the deepest place on the planet. But even though, so you're in a vortex, so you create a vortex, above Seti Bay and that thought. So where you're transmitting is a place that spreads out, not only like wave, right? Your wavelengths. That how you can project and people start feeling and waking up to who they really are. But the image, I mean, all the things that we see, all the things that are going on, all the things in the media, come on, folks, quit wasting time. Put your fifth dimensional consciousness in your third dimensional body. And then you won't have more problems. It's all over. Because you're living in bliss. You've given it up. You're not making any judgments. There's no gender. You're just in a world of all the knowledge of the universe, and you're, of course, surrounded by unconditional love. And that's just where you are, no matter what happens to the third dimensional part. Because you're still going to have fear because you're going to have love.
Sure.
You're still going to have pain because you're going to have bliss, but you're free of it because now you understand why it's happening to you. Why does a bad thing happen to good people? Well, because you just did something good. Yeah, it's just the ricochet.
Yeah.
Isaac Newton again. These guys come up and no doubt theorems that have been proven over and over again is coming to that reality. What we see, the apple hitting them on the head under the tree. But so in these thoughts, and so you think in getting back like to Tijen or the schools and how everything is, within our island and our capabilities that we have, that we can, take care of these problems. And of course, the way you do it is by operating from thoughts of a fifth dimensional realm and bringing it down to a third dimensional body. And that's easy enough. It's just, accepting it. And do what Finland does. Come on, guys. Number one in the world. What are we, silly? Why would we do anything less than that? And then with all of our branches of all our cultural and all our arts that emerge and, and start sending people out all over the world saying, hey, this is where the humans teach humans how to be human. Let us show you how bad we can beat you in Taekwondo. Or where's the softball team around here? We want to show them who's winning. No. Did you see that one clip? It's a Howley guy. He's in a car, and he's talking about he just came from a Chamorro party, and he was the only white guy there.
Okay.
And after the first 6 hours, he had to leave.
Why?
Because he couldn't eat anymore.
Oh, okay.
And he could.
Oh,
he
I
was
like,
on the edge. No, yeah,
didn't
he says
kick him
we're gonna-
out, did
yeah,
he?
no, he's going to go another 6.
Okay.
But yeah, he knew the folks were going to go another 6. But he was just so his enthusiasm and how he expressed what he just experienced,
Yeah.
like how he was OD'ing
He
on
couldn't
partying.
handle all of that get together.
Not for 12 hours.
Not
he
for
didn't
12
think.
straight
Yeah,
hours.
Yeah, that was. I think
He,
that was.
he had enough at 6.
Well, he was in the car saying that was it. He had to leave, but I guess he was going to turn into
a pumpkin.
No, Chamorro. No, the old pumpkin. Pumpkin. No, Chamorro. That's Cinderella.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. But you see what I mean when we approach things, or we hear things on the radio, or different people and how they're looking at things in all these different ways.
Sure.
But we're small enough. See, the thing about Guam, the Marianas is small enough. We should not have any problems assuming and absorbing all of these things that really work all over the world.
Well, thinking of when you talk about small, right? I mean, Luta is pretty small, right? And you're coming up on October, right? And here's
Right.
an opportunity for us here in Guam. Like you've been advocating to bring back the 3-day weekend for that.
Columbus Day.
Yes.
Right, it is now. It's an indigenous day. It's called
Yes,
Indigenous Day.
but-
And then Northern
Right.
Marianas uses it for an actual holiday.
Right.
You
And
get
so
off.
if we
Yeah.
if we observed it again as a Gov Guam holiday, we could use this as an opportunity to go and spend time with our brothers and sisters in Luta, right?
And United, you can charter United to take you there.
There you go.
If you get enough people to
Yeah.
go.
Or you can charter a boat, and we can get there too.
Well, there's a thing about October. They say St. Francis de Borja brings bad weather. Yeah, we've been up there. We're like 5 boats. One went to the Philippines, took them 45 days, like crashed off Patty Point, crashed off Double Reef. One got
So
in.
you don't take your own boat?
Not then.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a
Because
funny
it's
kind. It's
not-
right in the middle of the season. Like what we're hearing, right? The first kind of 2 weeks into
Okay.
but I've been up there. I've been up to Pinkelsheimer. I was up there with Greg Perez, Pinkelsheimer, and
The Greg Perez?
Yeah, the Greg Perez. No, absolutely. And what happened was Pinkelsheimer left. What it was, there was these 5 boats, but Pinkelsheimer went out first, and he had a real nice Yamaha. He was the Yamaha dealer here. And then when he went out off Hanam Point, the south point of Rota, and then came back and he said, no, I'm not going. It's too rough. And these 5 boats, these guys that were like, fiesta, it was a Sunday, the fiesta. And they're like feeling very
adventurous.
No, they just had a great big meal, and so you think, nothing would ever happen to me, kind of thing. We just follow each other's lights, on our way back, and if somebody, we can assist like this. Well, that's not what happened.
Didn't work out.
Yeah, that didn't work out. Only one boat, I think, made it into Agana he had some drums. He had fuel because your fuel, you're not going straight. You're going up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah. So the weather, in this kind of
is not
sense,
calm at that time.
I've seen a lot of times where it's something's out there, or something's, and it's right again in the middle of the season.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, February.
So
February.
charter a plane to go there
if
in
you get
October.
a big group, and then you can camp. Think about camping. There's rooms up there you can look out, but think about camping. The camping is something right there. You could even do it at the Roundhouse. You could camp right there. There's bathrooms there. I think there's showers, and they have the huts there and stuff. But I'm not sure if there is a fiesta this year. I've been instigating, and there might not.
There might not be one?
Well, just because of there'll always be the church. There'll always be the ceremony.
Okay.
Of to what and
That's
to what
right.
Power's back. I don't know what.
They're only at 33%.
Power-wise?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
For Rota.
Okay, I hope it's in
was
Song and San Apollo, the two villages.
I'm part of the CNMI media distribution.
Oh, okay.
So there's a power service update that they shared. And they gave us a
33%? Okay.
Where Rota's not, they're the worse off.
Yeah.
35% power restoration for Rota. Tinian's at 95 and Saipan's at 92.
Okay.
And so this again is caused by Sinlaku.
Sinlaku.
Yeah. So
before-
that goes way
so
back
then came
to Sinlaku.
Bose. I think Bose was the one that went right over him.
Bobby also. I mean, Bobby has affected them as well. But I mean, this is ever since.
This is like 1962. Karen comes, and then like 3 months later, another one comes, but nobody knows about it because Karen already did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Rhoda, like I said, and then the other one, of course, you can wait until I think May. Now they moved. It wasn't in March. I think they moved the San Paulo patron saint too. San Isidro, I think it's San Isidro.
We'll pay attention to it.
Yeah. So, and then Tinian is in May. San Jose, that's in May.
They have their own Doni Festival over there too.
Right. Yeah, that also. Yes. So, but see, the Marianas, again, getting back to the Marianas, look at what's going on in the States representing the Marianas, the different clubs and activities and social activities and presenting the Chamorro hospitality.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's beyond measure. And so to communicate that. So the next one coming out is going to be our Phenomena in the Marianas.
Okay.
Yeah. We did it already.
We look forward to it.
Well,
posting?
Real soon.
Okay.
If not, maybe this weekend. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, because the best way they're saying how to do YouTube is to
spread it out.
Spread it out. Yeah.
For sure.
Right. But the Catholic one, to watch it if you get a chance, and it has to do with really positive space. And Chet, I'm right underneath the three crosses, right? Up there on the mount, right? And
right.
It's and the delivery is real clean. It's what it is the confirmation names. Let's start using our confirmation names. With peace be with you, say. Your confirmation name and
I'm
ask
just
him
not creative because I just use the same name. I was like, what's wrong with St. Paul? I don't see any
No,
problem.
like you said, no, you're a higher conscious
Yeah.
name. Yeah, no, that works. Yeah, no, because that's
It's
exactly
just not
who you
creative.
are.
I
Yeah.
can't think of any other name. My grandfather is Paul. My dad's Paul.
Yeah, and
I'm
St.
Paul.
Paul.
Just stick with
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah, St. Paul.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it works. Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's absolutely. And Ryan, you and I, we got the R word, Ryan. Right, that's it's a vibration. Your name is your vibration, which is an interesting thing, right?
Yes.
But your real whole name would be St. Paul. That was who you really are. Pauly's the name of the body.
Right.
But if I call your name, that's a vibration sound that you, of course, react to as somebody calls your name.
Right.
But in the aspect of when you pass, and if it's a whole bunch of people who are calling you, right, like if you're in Egypt or something, and all the masses of people are calling you a Hasser, so that's not their real name. That they don't have to react to that name. Their name is who their confirmation name would be, and so they're not pulled to the earth by people calling their name or called back into this space in whatever form. It's interesting. When you start engaging in metaphysics and the things that you have knowledge and wake up with in your thoughts, and then you just start, thinking. Then it comes true. You read it in a magazine, or
Right.
you see it in a movie, or and how it defines what these kind of things are. Then that's what the Catholic name, right, confirmation name, is like the name you pick for your Tenaichi, your higher consciousness. So in Catholicism, you're going to the fifth dimension by using that name. And of course, in your house of your father, the church, is where you're experiencing it, because that's how you're greeting. Peace be with you. My confirmation name is John. What's yours? Oh, St. Paul. All right, let's be spirits in our Father's house. So giving the church an uplifting. They send a letter to the cardinal in Manila, and then the Manila sends that to the Vatican, to the Marianas as using confirmation names. Yeah,
Is that what we're gonna dive into today?
Yeah, well, it's on YouTube too, right?
Okay.
Sitting up there or standing up there. Yeah, no, it's a trip. Brian's such a master. My guy, his
Yes,
his
he's
cinematography. Yeah, it's
he's
nuts.
impressive. So what do we have to look
Well,
forward
tonight,
to in the next couple minutes?
Yeah, Sebastian's coming in.
Yes, I saw him and his mom.
And we're gonna probably do. There's a thing. It's called Sylvan Mind Control.
Okay.
I don't. Did you ever hear that?
I know of Sylvan Learning Center.
Yeah, this is different.
Okay.
Yeah, this is. I knew Marie Nelson. I know all these guys, man. Marie Nelson. She was
okay,
my principal at Carmelito.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So this is different.
Yeah, this is different.
In what ways?
In what ways? It's like you do some like Edgar Cayce kind of things, but the Catholic Church they used it out here. It was pretty extensive within the Catholic schools. And what it is, it's different techniques within your mind. I can teach people to never be bored, never be worried, or never be anxious for the rest of your life. And you do it through visualizations. You do a soliloquy, and you take people. I do it on the air every now and then, and it takes people into the space where you create a favorite place. You have favorite food,
remember.
Yeah,
yes,
all those things,
yes.
and in that favorite place, you can learn instead of thinking about whatever mechanism to get to that space. You can just go 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yeah, just back 3. CBA or whatever you have that you want to go backwards to a point to be in that favorite place, and then in that favorite place you're not worried, you're not anxious because you're in your favorite place. And then if you're still worried or bored or anxious, change your favorite place.
There you go.
Right? You're enabled to.
Well, that's coming up, so don't go anywhere. Everybody have a great weekend. Don't go anywhere because we've got Edge of Heaven coming up in just a few minutes. Everybody be kind to each other, especially on those roads. Guaiza. KGUM FM in Dededo, Guam. Adios.